But no, man, I shot like a 35-inch Jack Carval on a shore dive in New Jersey. And I like just perfect bullseyed it right in the back of the gill plate. It's spinning me round, and I'm probably...
And you're holding on to the spear.
I'm holding on to the spear, so when it's doing circles, and we're probably 20 feet deep, when it's doing these circles, I'm spinning with it. And then, dude, it turned upwards and just skyrocketed right to the surface. And I'm just holding it, and it took me with it right up to the surface. When I was on my way over to the jetty, a humongous wave come and just washed me up.
It's unreleased.
Yeah,
unreleased.
I guess you
gotta get out of here, dude.
I went flying. The fish slipped it slipped down the pole spear all the way down, past through the band and off the spear.
All right, episode 3 here, Saltwater Tales. We got the Jetty Jockeys aboard. Thanks for driving down here from LBI. So kind of just introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Jake.
I'm also Jake.
Yeah, and we're the Jetty Jockeys.
Absolutely. So I've seen you guys all over. I was just in the local the other day, and I was getting my coffee. I looked over, the boys' stickers right on the window.
Yeah, so Jake lives right by there on that same street, so...
And you're a little
area.
south of the island.
Yeah, I'm
right?
Holgate. He's Ship Bottom, so kind of got a good bit of the island covered.
So last time I seen you were in Bird and Betty's. Remember that? It was the Halloween party. You were dressed up as the spear diver up on top deck there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was sick.
Right, it wasn't necessarily a spear diver. I was
Barnacle Boy, right?
Barnacle Boy. Yeah, but I had flippers on, and they lasted the whole night, which is pretty impressive. Yeah. That was impressive. They didn't last the HUD though. I don't know where they went.
So tell us what you guys do.
Man, we're jetty rats. We absolutely have gone pretty much as deep as you can go into land-based fishing, primarily off the jetties. We spearfish. We catch giant, mega land-based striped bass. And we get flounder limits, and that's really our deal. That's what we go for.
We've branched into boat bites a good bit now.
Just got it last year, right?
Boat, but
we
can't started off from the jetty. Robalo R7 or 272.
You ran it a lot this year?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been fishing a lot in the bay for flounder, but not much in the ocean so far. Yeah. Need to get it going. We tried to go out the other day, and it was the worst fog ever.
It's bad this time of year.
Yeah, it's really bad. Especially, it's worse in Holgate for some reason. I don't know why. If you come over the bridge, it'll look fine, and then you get to Holgate, and you can't see 3 feet in front of you.
That and the bugs.
And there was negative wind, so the bugs are pretty brutal.
It was horrible this weekend.
Horrible,
bugs were horrible.
It was Saturday or Sunday, right?
Dude,
so there's a ton of boats out in the fog too.
Yeah,
so also not
dangerous.
Ideal. Tried to go out in the ocean. A little rough. I'm all right.
So let's talk about. So you guys you spearfish around LBI Barnegat Inlet. So what got you guys started to spearfish? It's not just a jump in the water. Have you grown up doing it, or what's the deal?
I mean, starting out we've been around the ocean our whole lives, but I mean we're on the swim team, surfers growing up, so it kind of came natural.
Yeah,
a lifeguard in the past, but dude, honestly, what it was I'm standing out there, 5-6 years back, looking down and not catching a thing. And this diver pops up in front of me with a 28-inch fluke.
No way.
That day, I literally zipped up my bag, walked straight off the jetty, ordered a pole spear. Swear to God, that day. Yeah, and then, oh my God, dude, starting out spearfishing is crazy, especially around here. But starting out, no fins, socks on, surfing, 3-2 surfing wetsuit, and just a butter knife just to get out there, check it out. After one dive, we knew this is awesome.
So how long? When did you guys met? Have you known each other your whole life, or what's the deal?
2017, I guess. We were both busboys at the Blue Water Cafe.
Okay.
Shout out.
I actually trained him to be a busboy.
Yeah, and then that year was tough because we had conflicting schedules, but we both know we'd like to fish. So we tried to make it work, but every time I was working, he wasn't working and vice versa, so it was kind of tough to get it going.
Yeah.
And we finally did. And short other tidbit, how we came up with Jetty Jockeys. We obviously fished the jetty a lot, but we were in his garage going through his grandfather's old fishing stuff.
Yeah, when my grandfather passed away, he had a bunch of fishing books in the garage.
Yeah.
We're talking about, so the thing about us that you got to understand too is we've been grinding for a while now.
Yeah.
I'm 27. He's 26
yeah.
And since we got our licenses, 17 years old, we grew up trying to figure out how to fish a jetty. So now 10 years in, we started the page 5 years ago.
Okay.
So
have you always had that name, or is just you made it when you got started the page?
It was this book that.
Yeah. So back to the book. But you could tell them.
Yeah, we were just like flicking through stuff. It was
we're trying to come up with, actively trying to come up with a name.
We were like, that was our idea. We're like, and then there was like this highlighted section about people that fish jetties, and it said like it called them Jetty Jockeys. You're like.
Oh, that's a real definition.
Yeah, it's a real thing. We're like, holy shit. And then we're
No
like,
way.
is there a Jetty Jockeys account? There wasn't. We just like started one that day.
That's mine.
Yeah, we just ran with it.
And at first, but honestly, it was just like, we were catching these hogs, but we didn't want to put them on our personal Instagram. So we just made like a fishing page just to put that stuff up there. But then random people started following along with the crazy stuff we were doing. And it's built into a little something.
Yeah, your content's awesome. It's so like interactive. Because it's just like, it's right there. Like you see it.
That's what's really cool with the spearfishing videos. I think they do well because, like, especially in New Jersey, it's not that common. There's not that many spearfishermen just because the clarity is pretty terrible, you know?
Yeah.
But people
love
love the spearfishing videos specifically. I don't know. I do a lot of fluke fishing. And like, there's only so many limit pictures you can post. They're all kind of the same, unless you get a hog. You know what I mean? So trying to spice it up a little bit.
That's what I'm like kind of doing. So we do the tuna videos, offshore and shore boat videos, and I was like, when I first started, I was like, how many videos like can I make? In each trip, I like managed to make it like kind of a different video. Yeah, and I'm like, all right, like I'm filming the same exact thing. Like there's almost to a point I'm like thinking old. Like, when am I like? How am I going to keep this going?
Exactly,
or keep it changing? So you guys have that way. Like, there's something different every single, like...
Yeah, and of course, though, like with how TikTok works now and like Instagram Reels, it's always like the dumbest videos that go the most viral.
The bacon, egg, and cheese the other day.
That's what I mean. It got like 4 million views.
That actually gets me pissed because like
it took the least amount of time to edit to make. Right, it's a 7-minute clip, but like it catches people's attention. But that's not the stuff you want to put out. You know, you
Dude, last week we posted a video of like us just dumping 9-keeper flounder out of a Wawa bag. Yeah. 225,000 views.
Yeah, I see that.
and then I make a video, holding my breath, risking my life, going to the depths of the ocean, hitting a pinpoint accurate shot on a fish, and it gets like 5,000.
Isn't that just frustrating?
It's frustrating.
I do that too. Like I'll spend like hours like editing a video, and like nobody really cares.
Well, it's like those other like the bacon, egg, and cheese video. It's like everyone sees that.
We didn't even show a fish.
There was no fish. Yeah,
You're right.
It was a takedown.
And the thing that upsets me is if I kept the whole video and put the fish in it, it probably wouldn't. It got 3.8 million views. Probably would have got like 5,000 views or whatever else. Just like
you never know.
And I think that's why like I don't know. We try to be unique on the page, but I think that's part of our videos is we try to give people like a very raw point of view. Like sometimes I'll be talking to Jake. I'm like, I can edit it this way. We'll probably get 20,000 views, but like it's not as raw. And he's like. I'm like, or we could post it, get a few thousand views, but it would be like, an actual clip. And we try to go that route as much as we can. Sometimes, we got to mess around, put the trending sounds on and whatnot.
It's like those trending ones get the most views because everyone sees them compared to just like fishermen, And I love fishermen, we're all fishermen, but like there's not a ton of people out there scrolling through TikTok just about fishing.
Exactly.
Way more with everything else. You got to
Yeah, and bro, have you noticed both. I mean, we're really deep into this. Like I'm talking about like people, the average person just doesn't know like what a lot of us guys, especially people in like around the Jersey Shore, are really doing. The hardcore fishermen, or people that take it pretty serious. Like we're really like you guys with the tuna. Man, I don't even know. Like, I'm pretty far away from that. That's like the opposite end of the spectrum for me. But I feel
which
like
is cool.
You need to help us
We're on
with
top
that.
of the water. You guys are down low.
It probably just goes as deep as like the things you got to worry about 100%. Or to figure out the bite or whatever else. Like
it is, and there's a lot of people. I'm sure it's the same way. A lot of people that are out there that've been doing it forever that you do not know about.
Yeah,
like I'm sure it's the same with the spear guys as well, right?
Like they don't have an Instagram showing it, they just have been doing this for 20 years. A lot
of those guys are honestly the best guys, and I mean, that's something, like I called him in February this year, like there's so many, like people that have been fishing for a year or whatever else, making pages and doing instructional videos on how to do this and that now, and I'm just like, bro, I don't even want to post anymore, like, what are we doing? Like,
and that's like me.
Kooks.
Like me too. Like I just started. I guess it's 2 years now. So I was like, these guys probably think I'm like just like some guy who showed up and like, you kind of have to like work through your respect.
Yeah, especially with the land-based surf casting like that.
That's kind of a whole nother world too. Surf casters are
Those
Very
guys are
particular.
freaks. Those
Yeah,
guys
so
are
you guys do
absolute
surf
freaks.
fishing a lot too, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like. So we grew up fishing and fishing the same spots that we dive, like hardcore. Like we fished them. Like we literally fished the same place 5 days a week for 6 months in a row.
Yeah.
Like every day.
It's just the
'cause
same place.
That's how you really like learn a spot. You know what I mean? And really understand a spot, especially with the moon phases and the currents and everything like that. But then when we went to spear them, we're like, well, I know I caught fish here. I know I caught fish around this rip. So we just dove down to the bottom.
It's really cool.
And
seeing
then it was
after
loaded.
You fished it
I
and
was
then
just
go down
gonna
and
ask
see
that.
it.
It was absolutely loaded.
So like spearfishing's got to give you an advantage for land base, right?
Yeah.
I think just seeing the bottom. Yeah, like
Yeah.
knowing exactly what you're fishing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is the mussel bed, or this is what this is. A little
surprising
drop off.
too. Like the stuff that we thought we were fishing when we were fishing it with rod and reel, and when we jump in, we're just like, you've never expected to look this way.
Yeah, right. Like I seen videos you guys posted, like schools of fish down there. Like
Yeah,
you wouldn't think that.
I
It's just
know.
standing up on the jetty, just
Just casting in the same spot.
Yeah.
right?
The
Exactly.
The coolest thing we do, bro, is we'll go and we'll dive and we'll figure out where the fish are, and then we'll go back at night and slam striped bass.
oh, that's sick.
Like that is the
Just
best.
get that intel. You know.
So let's dive into the striped bass. Now you said it. So years ago, obviously, you kind of had a larger range of what you could shoot. Do you guys
Yeah.
even shoot bass anymore, or what's the deal with that?
We hold back a lot on the stripers, but the thing is, like,
It's
we
tough.
love to eat them. Like,
Yeah.
it
so
tastes
delicious.
amazing.
But it's tough with just how small a slot is to really gauge. And it all looks a little different underwater, especially if you're just going to hop in for like the first few times. Like everything looks a little different, like how big things are.
Yeah. The thing that we do is, I mean, we get a bonus tag, so you know it boosts your slot enough.
Yeah.
You can't take a big fish, but I mean, having a larger range slot makes it possible.
Especially if you make like a little mistake, you got a bit of extra room to work with.
Yeah.
You know, which is nice when you can have it.
The best is the flounder regulations. I mean, like you see a huge fish, you shoot it. If it's borderline, like and that's another thing. Like fish are extremely magnified underwater. They look like a 20-inch
Like, I just got
flounder
a
looks like
massive
an
fish.
absolute halibut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they look
so
big
if,
down
if
there.
you're thinking like, oh, I can't really tell, like it's probably not big enough.
Yeah,
That's
if you're
kinda
guessing, then
that's how we
you
get-
probably
maybe don't.
shouldn't shoot
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. There's so at least like where we dive, there are a lot of bass down there, and they're just swimming right by your face.
That's another
Yeah.
thing about bass that is probably a misconception. Like they're super curious,
Are they
super
really?
curious. And if you stay still and don't look, like another weird thing that I've noticed about fish is if you look them in the eye, they'll swim away.
Nuh-uh.
So if you see a bass and you kind of look away from it and just kind of, you don't approach it, but just stay down there, it will usually swim in to check you out.
Nuh-uh.
And it's happened a million times where like I'm holding my breath and I want to swim over to it and I just choose to wait and then it just turns around and swims right past you.
Really?
Yeah, it's a cool feeling.
That you're like one with like
Yeah,
everything
just
down there.
Yeah, that's another thing. People don't realize like how many togs are down there. Like
Yeah.
on these New
It's
Jersey
a
jetties,
disgusting amount of tog in those waters.
it is loaded. Like if you're going tog fishing and you're a fisherman on the jetty and you're not getting bite quick, like
You're doing something wrong.
you should move spots because it's just absolutely loaded. Yeah.
a million tog.
So let's go back to your first dive. Was it like what you were expecting, or how long can you guys hold your breath for?
I mean, so to answer your first question, I mean, I told you my first dive was no fins with a butter knife just to check it out, but it was everything more than I was expecting. I mean, the thing about New Jersey is you're gonna deal with some bad visibility.
Most of the time.
And that's most of the time. That's not all the time. And like when we first started out, we would go good viz, bad viz. Like a lot of the divers are probably like a little spoiled where if it's the water's not clear, they're not really gonna go that day. Like when we were starting out and learning, we're going 4 days a week, no matter the visibility.
Find out when the visibility is gonna be good.
Humongous
too.
surf,
Yeah.
humongous surf, dirt brown water, and like the experience is vastly different.
Yeah,
when
that's
it's like
crazy.
I think my first dive wasn't even with a gun or a pole spear. It was just
just to check it
to
out.
check it out. Like, let me just
Because I
get
call
my
them, I'm like, oh,
bearing
you gotta
here.
see this shit. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
crazy
just
down there.
just going for. I guess it was just snorkeling at that point.
Yeah.
But
So fun though.
I don't
So
know.
how deep is it? So you guys are spanning what, like 20 feet off the jetty at most, or how far out?
I mean,
No, it depends.
yeah,
Like
we'll do some boat dives. It depends on the zone, but like the average we're diving is like 8 feet to 30
it's not
feet,
that deep.
Okay.
max 30 feet. And
Yeah.
like to answer your other question, we're not holding our breath that long.
Yeah.
The thing about holding your breath that's weird is like when you're exerting any type of energy, and I mean even holding the spear with your hand like tight, because
cocked, yeah.
you gotta hold these spears and you gotta kind of preload them a lot of the times. you're burning oxygen just by squeezing your hand.
It's more about just kind of controlling your heart rate than actually being able to hold your breath.
So you don't have to be in the best shape. You just have to be good at being calm, basically. But like we're holding our breath a minute and a half, 2 minutes tops usually.
I top out at a minute. He's a bit better than I am with that.
That's another funky thing about being a Northeast diver is like end of the summer we're ripping 2-minute breath holds because we're like we've been really getting it going. But in the beginning of the year, like right now, like I'm pretty gassed. Like my breath holds are pretty weak.
Something you got to practice. You can get a lot better at it.
Yeah, how do you practice?
It too.
Can you practice?
By learning how to be calm, basically. I would say, I mean, and we're not professionals yet by no means, but we have got a lot of reps in like the short few years that we've been doing it.
I feel like there's just not that many spear fishermen in New Jersey or the Northeast because of that like water clarity thing, you know? And that's why I think it's a little bit scarier too, because like you don't see fish until they're sometimes right in front of your face. Like, and there's, you know, obviously everyone who fishes know there's a million sharks on the beach like all the time, right? Like you can't be worried about that when you're out there. They're just always there. And that gets a little scary because you can't see them until they're right in front of you.
Yeah. Any like crazy shark encounters or anything?
Well, it's actually, I'm the one who saw it more than him. The water clarity was terrible that day. It was like it's like right before a hurricane. I don't even know why.
I was diving and you were fishing.
Yeah, I don't know why he did. Like we should have been out there. Not even because it's dangerous. It's just like there was no fish that were going to be caught. It was so weedy, massive swell, but we just went out anyway. And I'm just fishing the jetty, and he's like shallow water trying to find some viz.
5 feet off the beach lip. Like, super
right
shallow because like you couldn't see. So I'm just like looking for flounder in the sand.
They just see 2 fins right behind him. I'm like, shit.
Yeah. The sharks around here don't want to mess with you, though, man. They want fish, and that's another thing. Like, bro, our buddy Nick, he wears his stringer of his fish on his belt. We've had sharks eat our togs off of our float that's like 50 feet behind us.
So usually you keep it on the float, like on that little metal piece there. That'd be like the best way to do it. So it's
you gotta take your fish off your waist. Like you gotta put it on the float. Like you're gonna get your nuts eaten off. Like, but no, the sharks they're scared of you most of the time, and like it's not too bad.
But that day, and I guess like obviously I don't know why, but that'd be something you joke about, like, hey, there's a shark behind you. But no, like, I always remember, like, you said, like, I knew you were serious how calmly you said it. So, Jake, there's 2 sharks behind you.
Go, Jake. I'm, like, looking up, like, what? Because I couldn't see. And he's just like, there's a shark right behind you, that calm. And I was like,
maybe he's serious.
Yeah.
Did you see it in the water?
No, I never even saw it.
And we saw there for like 5 minutes after they were, like, picking bait and stuff
in
the water.
When we got out, it
was so muddy.
That was weird. Yeah.
That was weird.
I was out last Monday in the water. I haven't seen the water this clear in a while. Have you guys been in at all?
Dude, it's been going in and out. Like I've been in. I'll rip like a pre-work dive. Like wake up, sunrise dive, and go to work type deal.
I haven't dove yet this year. Fish a lot, but I haven't dove yet.
Yeah, we've been fishing pretty hard just because there's still some striped bass around. Things like
we're still kind of still on the bass kick right now.
Dude, when the east winds kick in like light and there's not a lot of rain. And there's low, like small swell. You get some good viz around here.
Yeah. It's also weird too. Like it won't look good at the top, but like you'll go deeper and it'll be like a pocket of like 4 foot of viz, like at the bottom. But it's not,
almost like
everywhere.
Kind of
it's kind of weird, especially at the jetty.
Yeah, that is huge. Like in these inlets in New Jersey, like people, I think it's a big misconception. I didn't know till I got in the water, but the visibility is different within 10 feet of like the next zone.
Really?
Like you could be swimming down and you could be swimming through murk and like just you don't see a thing. You get to the bottom and there's 6 foot of clear water on the bottom.
It's really weird.
Really? So you really have to just dive in and test it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like to say like the only way to know is to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's really like you can.
That's the only way to know.
At least again, we haven't been spearfishing for that long, but like trying to find the patterns. Again, there's some that you can find to find the clear water, but like also. Again, 10 feet from each other could be good viz versus terrible, chocolate milk. So you kind of just have to go and see what it is that day. And you can still find fish with really nasty water. You just, at least flounder, you just got to be right on top of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because flounder kind of bury themselves in the sand, right?
They're tough to find even in good viz. I don't know. Jake's a bit better at it than me. Like, at least you'll look through like videos. I'm like, how did you even see that fish? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I got
what do you look for the eyes, right?
For him, I think.
Yeah, I was watching
and you look for the eyes too.
Yeah, I was watching a video earlier. Like you swam by it and then you like came back and I was like, oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, so I don't think people know. It's like I didn't even see it when I first looked at it. The camera was looking at it. My eyes were the other way. I didn't even know till I almost I think I know the video you're talking about. Almost was on top of it by the time I realized it was there, and like that's another thing that's crazy. Like that we're kind of like we've only really found out, but we'll go fishing for sunrise in a zone and like not catch many flounder.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back 2 hours later and it will be loaded.
Really? So they're
Loaded.
moving around pretty heavy.
Or they're just not biting. Like, I think a lot of the times.
There's flounder down there most of the time you're down
A
there.
lot of the
It's
times,
just
if
them
you're
not
in a
biting.
fishy spot, and there's flounder, and like when we dive, we'll notice they're dug deeper into the sand than normal, probably because they're not feeding or whatever else. But yeah, like we're like out there, like we know they're down there, like we gotta go check. And every time we go back and check with the goggles, and like they're down there.
So when you guys go, so do you start at, so if the current's whatever going in or out, do you start at a specific side of the jetty and work with the current down or back
If
in?
you're diving the inlet, for like if you're just driving or diving the ocean side, it's not as important. But the inlet definitely, because it rips. You know, you just let it take you down the rocks, kind of.
It's extremely important to know the tides.
Yeah,
and
right.
Like,
And it's a lot different. Like what you'll
get
look
really
up,
dangerous,
like it slacks out like a while. It's like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a 2 hour gap.
Yeah, there's a big gap. Like I didn't know that when I first hopped in. I'm just hopping in and I'm getting swept away. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we learned that with striper fishing, but the bigger the inlet, the more, a lot of times, the more delayed the slack water will be. And I think people don't realize that, like, high tide, the current might be dead high tide, but that water's still ripping in for another hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And like you have to time it up pretty concise. And like there's times like we want to keep diving, but we got to get out because we're just you're diving down and just supermaning.
It's really weird when you go down if you're like a pretty long dive and you come up and you are nowhere near where you went down.
Yeah,
it's
like
weird.
we've been in the inlet where like you got to throttle it in to like
just
even stay
move,
where you're staying.
Where you're at. Yeah, it's not even just an idle. You know.
Yeah, like you're throttling up
keep
and you're.
it. Yeah.
And I feel like every time, is there a lot of people that spearfish that inlet? I feel like every time I go out, there's somebody out there. It's probably you guys.
I think it's a few guys that go all the time. Honestly, I don't think it's that many people. I could be wrong, but
I mean,
it's not that big of a group. I don't think.
Yeah, we dive all over too. I mean, we've checked out like everywhere from Sandy Hook to like Atlantic City. But I mean, in our local areas, I think more people are doing it now than ever though too.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting to see. And there's like a lot of kook action out there.
Oh,
I was telling you about the flag before we got started. Like,
yeah, my first
guys,
two
you gotta have your flag, and you gotta have
flag.
the flag.
Yeah, it's especially if you're in the inlet. Do not do that. There's a lot of boat traffic too. Like I don't know, like I live in Holgate. There's some smaller jetties, so I'm just gonna go there for a minute or two.
You can spearfish on those small jetties out in the ocean, huh?
Dude,
the lifeguards might yell at you, but you can.
You can
that's
do.
Where I want to start out.
Yeah, that's no, actually, but no,
like
some of them get
deep.
gnarly though. Just if there's waves breaking on them,
Yeah.
like it's honestly a bit more sketchy than like fishing.
Oh yeah, you just
up
get
north.
starfish. You just get big wave, just takes you
on a
right up on
rock.
top of the jetty. And
You're just sitting there.
up
Yeah.
on the rocks.
That's why like you don't need a wetsuit, but you should definitely have a wetsuit and a hood and gloves.
Yeah.
It's not because you need to stay warm. Well, maybe this time of year, but when the water's warm, it's because you're gonna bang up against some rocks, and that's
Is there a
not
specific like suits for spearfishing? Like
I mean,
abrasive
we've been,
resistance?
There are.
There's like they're called open cell wetsuits,
Okay.
and they're basically two pieces, and they're like way different than surf
Not
suits.
fun to get on.
They're hard to
Yeah,
get on. You
okay.
got to lube up to get them on.
You literally need like baby oil.
really?
Yeah,
They're
like
hard to
soapy
take
water
off?
to get on. I have just a surfing wetsuit. I haven't dabbled
So I'm good
with
with
that.
my
Yeah, you're good with that. Yeah, I've just done that. You're
you
fine.
definitely want to get a hood though, like if you're a beginner, because you don't want your head exposed down there, because you might swim into a rock and bash your skull. Like sometimes the water is that dirty, So
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I didn't. I got like you can get cheap booties on Amazon and stuff. Like if you go to like the surf shops and you get like the surfing gloves and booties, they're gonna be really expensive. I don't think you need all that. Like they're gonna get torn up anyway. But I went with like 2 pairs of socks my first few times, just so they're because your feet will get really gnarly in the flippers all day if you don't have anything between like your foot and the flipper.
Yeah.
Which is
So
nice.
let's talk about the flag here. So we have the buoy. So you have any close calls with boats or what?
Nah, I mean, all right, this is another thing that most people probably don't realize, or I didn't realize as a fisherman. You can hear everything.
I was going to ask that too.
Yeah, there's always something. There's always a sound
You can
down
hear.
there.
You can hear if a boat's up on plane, you can hear it like 800 yards out.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you're in the inlet, you're just hearing it all the time.
It's the whole time.
And you're hearing
There's
like
buzzing. I don't really know what
the
that is. Like
weirdest sounds.
beeps. And,
It's
I
like
don't really know what they are all the time.
people probably don't know. It's like super loud on the bottom of the ocean in an inlet, like
So it's
super
not,
loud.
not quiet at all.
No, and like the freakiest thing is when the viz is bad and the big black drums are around, you'll just hear them drumming like in the back of your head,
Sick.
and you're trying to hold your breath and like be chill, but then you got
And then
just
you
drum like you can't see them, but you just know they're around you. It's kind of like
you ever shot any of those?
I seen one. I never shot one. I've been waiting to see a redfish, and that's in the slot.
That would be sick.
That's in the cards. Hopefully,
Never got a black drum though. No.
That'd be cool. They came in hot last year.
There was a really good bite like May of last year. We were getting in them pretty good.
That was when we became we were
hardcore
chunking.
Dude, we have to chunk.
We're just chunking all the time.
Yeah, and it's like I got no hate for the chunk.
He got a
it's
salted
great.
clam bass last year. We always hate
clam
on
bass.
salted clam.
Yeah. Hanging out on the beach.
Clam.
Yeah. I mean, you can get fish that way. It's just kind of tough to dial in on them.
Yeah, right.
You know, I don't know. It's really tough. Like the same spots we would go to last year are pretty, washed out now because of all the beach replenishment in Beach Haven and Holgate. Like there's a lot of good spots in Holgate, in the south side of Beach Haven that are you kind of got to find all new spots now. Which kind of sucks.
So can you dive in off no jetties, just right off the beach? Or you guys...
sure.
You can.
For sure.
It might be a little more scarce fish-wise to kind of find them, unless there's a hole there or something.
Yeah, you're really looking for sand structure at that point.
If
you got a nice little nice trough or a nice big hole, if you go, you jump in.
But they're all different this year, which at least the south side of the island,
we gotta
which
get the
really
drone
sucks.
Up so we can find our new holes.
I know, that's what we
Dude,
need
we
to
had
do.
the most
Have you
killer
done that
hole
with the
last
drone?
year.
You do that? No.
We've flown it.
like
I never looked for fish though.
I'm not even sure you need to look for fish. On a clear water day, though, you can probably see depth a bit more. See if there's holes.
Inshore.
Not off, but just off the beach. I've been wanting to do that for a while.
That's a good idea.
I just got it back in service, so
okay.
I'll be looking pretty soon for that. Yeah, you do it a lot, but I'm always worried about obviously dunking my drone. You're not too worried about that?
No, I've actually had a couple times in the inlet once, and I flew my drone up and hit the rod, and then hit the side of the boat, and this thing's gone.
Yeah,
and it got stuck in between the T-top rail, and I was like, all right,
I
said,
we'll take it.
Yep,
she was working fine, right?
I don't really use the drone. It's just so much to
It's a lot, especially if you're the one that's driving the boat. It's kind of tough to drive a drone and a boat.
And a lot of people don't realize, so a lot of people ask me, so I fish a lot, most of the time, rather than film.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are oh, let's get some good footage. And I'm like, it takes time.
You can do one or the other kind of. I've learned that too. It's I love fishing, and that's why sometimes Jake will get on me for not getting the most content. It's I'm just fishing. It's kind of
it's
tough
hard
to do
both.
You gotta get the GoPro going.
But it's tough to get both going really well because there's only so much,
It's hard enough to catch fish, but to catch fish on
and
video in frame
good,
is so hard without spot burning. To catch fish on video in frame without spot burning is so hard. And dude, that's another thing about us. We have videos that we'll post them one day, or we might never post that are just we know they're so sick that we can't post them.
It's just because some people would get so heated, especially bass fishermen get so heated up about spot burning. Not saying that
I get heated, but but also dude, we got some raw videos that are just in the vault forever.
What do you do with them? It's a lot easier with pictures. You can edit it any way you want,
exactly.
but.
Yeah, we've been
not really with the video.
We've been messing with the backgrounds a little bit. That's one. Another thing we'll do is we'll go out fish the jetty, and we'll fish before sunrise and leave an hour into the sun up, and we'll switch our lures before we walk off, and then
oh no way,
everybody just thinks we're oh, must have been fishing an SP minnow out there. Meanwhile, we got whatever we got going on.
Crushes.
They're old switch.
Dude, SP minnow is kind of a good all,
We'd snap the SP minnow. Oh yeah, crush them on SP minnow, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, just to mess with
Diamond
people,
jig.
Yeah,
diamond jig. Ava jig works for everything.
Yeah, it's funny. So a lot of times, it's kind of hard. It's not hard for us to spot burn. You can't really spot burn
in the
out
ocean.
In the ocean,
Yeah,
right? So it's more of when the bites happen.
It's when it's happening, when you post things.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So we'll kind of hold our videos off 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what people do for bass all the time.
That's the same thing for us land-based guys. And let's be real. Most of the guys in New Jersey that are really doing it, where people are catching fish. Just hold your fish pick for
do you
week,
really need
dude.
to post it?
Some people I feel they just gotta and when you put it up that night, I'm checking it out myself, and I might show up at your spot.
No, every time I see some early season, late season, and they post a picture, I'm trying to figure out where it is. I'm trying to find the new spot.
So everybody's doing it. But we got some really big land-based striped bass this year, and we still haven't posted any pics.
Really?
We got some.
I think we'll probably do it
Late June and probably post some. But we got some really cool pictures and some really crazy stories with them.
A lot of late nights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sleepless
I can't
nights.
imagine. Yeah, it's funny.
Grind,
so like
man.
same thing with like the tuna thing. So like it's like nobody really wants to put in the. It costs a lot to
go
out
try
and
to find
these
them,
fish,
yeah.
right? So like once someone posts the first picture of the year, it's like a blitz.
It's
like
everyone's
everybody
going, right?
out.
Yeah.
And then they just posted these new regulations. For you
I
guys
saw that. What we were talking about it actually on our way here. What do you know what it is?
So
off the
I
top?
don't know the
Yeah.
exact number. So it's
Yeah.
one fish per boat. It's like 23 to 47. I can't remember the exact
Okay.
one.
So
But, like, who's
smaller
gonna
than last
pay-
year, right?
Yeah, last year was 2 unders and 1 over.
And 1 over, right?
Oh, so
yeah.
you
7
could,
to 72
you could take
inches.
3 tunas
up to
home with you guys
72.
last
Yeah.
year?
Now you can take
Oh,
one per
wow.
boat. A short.
Oh, that's gonna kill charter guys. Or is that is it different with charter guys?
No,
With
so
it's
charters
the
get like
same?
2.
But still,
Who's gonna pay $3,000-$4,000 to
Yeah.
go out and split between 4 guys, 2 40-inch fish?
that's
That's
brutal.
another thing about you guys. Like, like we're literally going to the bait shop night before, get an SP minute for $15
Yeah.
and going out. Like,
Well, that's what I've
is-
learned. I just got a bigger boat, 21 to a 27 and a half, and like
fuel
a
it, right?
50 gallon tank, 180 gallon tank. Burning, getting 1 mile a gallon now. I was getting 3.
Yeah,
That's been an
It's
adjustment.
Yeah, our whaler runs like 2.3, 2.4,
Yeah.
which is like pretty solid.
That's pretty solid. Yeah.
For a 24 footer.
Yeah.
But bro, you gotta keep your
It's-
eye
it's
on
like-
this though, just because like
Yeah.
him with his new fancy boat, like we're gonna mess around in the ocean.
I need
a
to
little
catch
You
bit.
guys have
I need to
to-
catch
We're
a
gonna
tuna
get
on my
the jetty
boat.
guys out in the boat.
I'm waiting
We
for them to
got
come
to.
a bit more inshore before. I don't want to take it out real deep.
It's kind of like it's ruined now.
Well, now it is
We'll
because
see.
you're not going to find. I don't know.
People are still going to catch them. I was talking to one of my buddies who's kind of starting a charter this year, and he
Yeah.
was like, I was like, you worried? He said, no. I think because people that are dedicated,
They're still going to want to go.
They're going to want to go catch it.
yeah.
And I think the new lap shot photo is going to be in the water with them. So
Big
people
fish hop in
jumping
the
in the
water.
water.
There's going to be cool pictures. There's are going to be cool pictures.
Yeah,
but-
so I think
That is
that's the
tough.
thing.
Well,
But
it's just tail.
How do you
Tail
release a
roping?
tuna?
you gaff them in the lip.
In the lip, right?
And then
Yeah.
drag them, revive
Drag
them, and
them,
you let
yeah.
them loose. They actually have a Praco grip now, which is like a lip grip on steroids. It's like
Just a
4 foot
massive
long.
lip
It's
grip?
Like, it's
Oh
like
my
heavy,
God.
yeah. And like it really clamps on, and then you drag them. And
Yeah.
then,
Revive them and release
but it's
them.
tough. Like I never really released. We released a few. But
It's
like,
tough with tuna.
Yeah, because
especially if you wild, but also like if you could fight that fish past exhaustion, not like you
Yeah.
know, it's not an insane thing to do. Like it's not the most common, but that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That'll
big
happen
that
with
fish, you got an hour fight. You
Yeah,
know,
we get
you-
some fish that
you
are
might not be
meaner than
reviving that
others.
fish, right?
Yeah,
Depends.
it's tough. But all right, so let's talk about this buoy here. So this is attached to a rope on your
So
belt or something, right? Or what's the
so
deal?
I have a 50-foot rope attached to my waist,
Okay.
and a lot of guys that like I spearfish only with the pole spear.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of guys will attach it to your gun, but I think
it's tough to do with a pole spear.
yeah,
It's a lot easier to attach to your gun. So like if
you're not going to be attaching your boot to your pole
Yeah.
spear.
Yeah.
But I think for safety purposes, having it on your belt is the safest option because God forbid something was to happen to you, you're like connected to this buoy.
Yeah.
So like someone could find you. You know what I mean? With that being said, you got to ditch your belt if anything
Something
ever goes
happens.
wrong.
Yeah, because like the other, like a school of thought is you attach it to your gun so that if you shoot a fish, and you can't deal with it, you run out of breath,
Yeah,
whatever.
then you go down
can
to the
drop.
buoy.
You can drop your gun because it's attached to it, and then go back down once you get a breath.
Okay.
Like you can't drop your gun if it's attached to nothing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
You got to be willing to ditch the gear if it comes down to it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one time it's pretty crazy. One of our buddies, very new into spearfishing, it might have been his only time, dropped the belt because he thought it was drowning. Dropped his belt down there. Like 3 weeks later, we found the weight belt in the
Oh,
same
you guys
spot.
found it.
Yeah.
Or either someone caught it and called us.
Oh, really?
I don't even remember.
Got it back though.
You guys
got
ever
it
get
back,
people on
though.
the jetty like asking you to go find anything or like?
Yeah.
Asking
Dude,
for intel all the time. Are there any fish
the
down
fishermen
there?
want the fishermen want the intel. Where's the bass at? No, I mean we used to be those guys though, like, and we still are. But yeah, like the crazy thing is like everyone's gulps just stays perfectly like.
Yeah, 'cause you can't dry it
endless
out.
rigs
it's not
down
drying
there.
out. So like
Yeah.
you can go down and fill up a bag with pink shine if you want.
Right,
Just, like,
sell it off the side.
yeah.
Used pink shine, $5 cheaper
And like if
than
I
$9.
see like an NLBN 8-inch, like I'm
You're taking
I'm
it.
picking
I'm
that
getting
up.
You got to.
Yeah.
A lot of times they're not that like the hooks usually aren't that bad too most of the time.
Because they can't rust underwater.
Yeah,
'cause
that's what I
there's
mean.
no oxygen.
There's no
for it to
oxygen, so
rust.
it's usually not that bad. Like I don't know. In your head, I'm always thinking, oh, it's been down there for a few months. It's shot.
The funny
they
thing
look
is-
fine.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, bro, people will DM us to find their rods. Like it's happened 3 or 4 times now where someone will get
that's
it. Like, are you
smoked
down
on the
there?
surf or drop it on the jetty or like this one kid dropped it on his dock. He's like, "Can you come down to my house and like dive down and get it?" I'm like,
"Yeah, sure.
Fair, if I'm in the area, I'll go look for it for you." Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool.
People ask us to find like their rods.
Things disappear pretty quickly. Even on my dock, I've dropped things and I've dived down to try to find them. They were never found.
Just gone.
It's just at least in the bay. It's just there's no clarity there. You got like 6 inches. It's pretty brutal.
We've dove the bay. Yes, we have dove the bay.
Really?
There's parts of the bay that get a little clear.
You get in the back. Yeah, you get in some of the back bay spots, and you can find a little bit of visibility. Really? But like at that point, you're really only looking for flounder. Like like doing like an inlet or like a shore dive with a jetty, just because then you can get multi-species.
Decent first dive though in the bay. There's not much going on around you. The jetty's always a stressful place to get your first dive because there's a ton of fishermen like casting right around you and stuff like that.
I was gonna ask.
It's a stressful thing.
Anybody ever caught you guys?
Yeah. I mean,
not me.
Like that's another thing, because when I was the fisherman up there, I would be like, "What are these divers?"
Yeah, like you'd be annoyed.
Like, they're like swimming right past where I'm fishing. But honestly, like you have to understand that there's so many things going on. The divers, especially if you're diving in current, like you can't even control where you're going.
Yeah. You just got to rock with it.
And like you got like they'll usually float through, so let the divers float through. But
because they're not scaring the fish.
Yeah,
you guys see it firsthand.
And with spearfishing, you're not gonna like just take out all the fish. Like you literally are gonna pick 1 or 2 fish that are really nice and take them, and it's not like you're taking all the keepers or whatever. So it's kind of like
plenty
goofy.
of fish down there.
Like,
you guys ever do the north side of the Barnegat on the ocean side?
Yeah. I mean, I've done like every single inlet
from the boat
from here to Sandy Hook, and we've done it from boat dives.
That'd be fun because I anchor over there and I hop in with a surfboard, surf, and then paddle back out to the boat and then kick back in. So I feel like that would be a good like start it.
It's just always sketchy with boats. I'm not even saying that they get that close. It's just in my head, at least, it was always scary.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last time we did it,
like on the actual rocks, not the sunken one.
Oh, not the sunken one. Okay, yeah. The sunken one can get a little gnarly because
you're saying in that pocket there? No, you can do that for sure.
We've never been over there.
That's like looking for flounder, basically, too. Yeah. Type thing. That's another thing about the flukes that are weird is depending on the grain of the sand that's on the bottom, there would be more flounder. So like if you find some like thicker sand that's like they can't really burrow in, there's not many flukes. But then you see like the softer sand with some rocks near it, like that's where you're gonna find the big doormat flounders.
So different ground types have different.
Yeah, I guess for flounder specifically, just because they're on the ground all the time. Colors based on that and stuff like that.
You ever guys done any offshore diving at all, like for mahi?
Still haven't tried.
That's on the list for this year.
I want to get a cobia off the. I want to get a cobia off the. In the late summer, I'm gonna try to go out to those.
I saw that. Yeah, it wasn't very large, but it was a cobia.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I mean, do you get those off pots or what? Or do you kind of have to find them off?
Apparently, there's talks that like last summer you could have gone out and found a few cobias on some of the pots. But
how shallow you find mahi? Like the shallowest you'll find mahi.
I've caught 3 miles in.
What about depth? Oh, I guess it doesn't matter because they're
60, 80.
Bro, please take me to one of those.
There's some wrecks that are 60, 80 foot that are doable. But you don't even have to go all the way down.
I've been in the canyon with some guys and like we'll
hop in.
We'll hop in and like I wish I had a gun with me because the mahi were just like
there's just so many
just swimming around you.
Well, they get pretty close to you.
Yeah, 100%. Like you could be like almost in a school.
I want to shoot them with this.
You could do it 100%.
Dude, the thing is, the pole spear is not meant for that.
Yeah, that would be
fish,
sick.
Though.
You could attach a float to it.
But a lot of like
you need a gun, I think.
The mahi up here, like we get like 1 or 2 bowls per pop, but the most of them they're only like they're not like giants.
Anyway. Yeah.
Like you'll get giants off like a big seaweed patch or something, but nothing really like on the pots. We picked a few off on the pots this year, but nothing crazy.
I found one time I was coming back from I don't even know where we were fluke fishing. Somewhere far for no reason with Tucker, actually. And there was just a balloon out there. There were some albies, false albies on it. Yeah. And I think a mahi or two. We didn't catch the mahi, but got the albies.
Let's plan that one time. Let's go hit the mahi pots.
I'm with it.
I gotta warm up a little bit.
I like going out like in the canyons. That was the coolest. I dove in and just like kept swimming.
Just looking.
And I just like looked up and the boat's just like chilling up there. Like the visibility was just crazy.
Is awesome out there.
It's amazing. That's
what I mean.
That's another thing I want to do is dive those oil rigs down in Louisiana.
That would be like the frying pan.
That'd be next.
Try to find a Cubera. Like that would be so sick.
Let's plan that this year. We'll go find the mahi and then we'll go back out there. It's just gonna be a far run, but it'll be fun.
It's all right.
We could do like a multi-trip, like yellowfin and mahi.
Wait, yeah.
How about spearfishing yellowfin? You ever seen those guys do that?
I've seen those
What's
videos.
the deal with that?
Dude,
don't
those
know the
guys
deal.
are savage, but I feel like if you got to have a good captain for that, and they
Yeah.
gotta drop you like I
don't even
up
understand.
current of them, or I don't even know how the tunas work. But yeah, that stuff is like all stuff. I mean, for the people out there, keep following the page because that stuff will graduate to one day.
Yeah.
Like we're not professionals by any means. A lot of people though seem to want to get into it, and they do reach out to us. And I kind of want to just say real quick, like, if you want to get into spearfishing, just take a free diving course for your safety, because like it's so dangerous, dude.
Yeah.
It is like extremely dangerous. Like I've swam down and got tangled up, and like got to know how to have a few knives on you, and
Yeah, I
you
was
got
gonna
to
say
know
you
all
have
that
to
stuff.
have
you always
knives on
have
you
a
to
knife.
cut loose. or
And you
whatever.
got to know how to equalize your ears, and there's like so
That'll
much
mess
that
you up
goes
big
into
time,
it that
too.
like if you're gonna start out, just take a free diving class. You'll be so much safer.
Yeah.
But I just because a lot of people message us and they're like, "What do I need? What
How
should I
get
do?"
into
And
this?
I'm like, take a free diving course, get a wetsuit with a hood, and like a lot of those like
And a
stuff
flag.
that we talked about, and have a flag.
Yeah, I regretted not going out with a flag like my first few times. Like, oh, yeah, how big of a deal could it be?
He's gonna
Definitely.
get
It's
hit in
actually
the head
a legal
with 2 ounce
thing too,
anchor.
right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because
No, you need to have a flag.
because I got
yeah.
kicked off the beach for messing around,
Oh,
like
no way.
yeah, by the lifeguards before.
And we didn't learn this until we got yelled at for it. You're not allowed to dive during a flood tide.
Really?
Well,
Well, I guess it was because it's technically the state park.
you're
I don't
not-
know. We're
you're
not allowed to do this. We had no idea.
without like
Really?
going into spots so much. Like you're not allowed to. You're not supposed to dive at like a lot of the places that like people
Yeah.
dive. But like it's whatever. We
She
actually
just said the
speaking
flood
of
tide.
I've been getting kicked off a lot of beaches a lot of bridges this spring.
Really? Just
Yeah.
like fishing wise or
Yeah.
diving wise?
Yeah, like dude, like I've been finding these bridges, and so I went to Florida in March, and like I was fishing the bridges for snook, and I'm like, dude, I was using drop net. I never had a drop net before. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get a drop net and check out Jersey
Yeah.
this year. There's so many big bass in the Back Bay bridges
can't
that you
imagine.
couldn't imagine, and like especially up northern New Jersey, I've been getting kicked off those bridges, but like you look down. There's lined up just like snook in the
they're
shadow
just
line,
cruising.
and they're like literally single file, like 40 bass in a line, big ones too.
Yeah.
And like we're like flicking the eel down there real quick, and then getting kicked off. Like that's
Wait,
been
that's a
happening.
funny thing.
It's a quick session. You know you're gonna get the boot.
Yeah,
you know?
out of here.
yeah.
That's fine. I love the videos. You always post on Instagram like you're going somewhere, and he just bring like a pack of something. You're like, let's see what we can catch.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
that is the best. I
Yeah,
love
like
that.
my California escapades trying to catch a
Yeah.
land-based halibut. That did not work, dude.
that
honestly,
one takes a bit more time. I think
That's kind of a sick story. So like, shout out Jersey Jake, my boy. I posted on the Jetty Jockeys Instagram story like, hey, I'm in California for a few days. I want to try to catch a halibut. Like, hit me up. And this guy, he grew up in Jersey and moved out there. He just was so welcoming and met up with a stranger, the homie. And like he
That's sick.
showed me the spots, put me on. I didn't catch a halibut, but I did catch like an octopus with my bare hands.
Nuh-uh.
That video
That's
that's
a
actually.
cool-
No
No,
one's
that was
seen
on the
that?
story. I thought.
I don't think we've ever released that video, but I was able to snatch up a little octopus, which is like
Nuh-uh.
pretty ridiculous. I feel like.
That's pretty.
yeah,
sick.
shout- that
Off
guy-
like a jetty or where?
Yeah, it was like at the inside of an inlet, like kind of in like the thoroughfares of the inlet,
Yeah.
but it was along rocks. But like, dude, people have been like so great, you know. Like we post or like try to network with the local fishermen, and people have been really
People are
sweet
very
to us
helpful.
lately,
Yeah.
It's been
It's
really
like-
sweet to us.
You can just like post where you're at. Like, I mean, we don't have a massive following,
Yeah,
but
like-
like it's all
Yeah.
pretty local, you know. So
Yeah.
there's
Shout out to
usually
the
gonna be
boys.
someone
Yeah, shout
close
out to
to
the
you.
boys.
You know what I mean? Which is pretty cool.
I feel like it's opposite in the boat world. Like everybody,
Yeah.
there's so much drama in like this the boat stuff. It's
They
The
don't
surf,
wanna be
the
helpful.
surf casters got a little feisty too.
No, the
that
surf
for sure.
casters can definitely not be helpful people.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always, I feel like the fishing community, everyone's like ultimately down to help each other, but like some people are just like tied up with what they.
They're just like, this is my spot. You know, I've been fishing here for whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
The cool thing about
Just
the
fair.
fishing community or whatever you want to call it is though, like all shapes and sizes of people you'll meet out there. Like we have homies that we see in the spring run and the fall run that like you don't even talk to them the rest of the year. But like
Yeah,
you
just
just
see them every fish.
like
Yeah,
October comes around and you just see them out there and you catch
same
up
spot,
and you
yep.
fish with them for a few months straight and then you don't see
like
them
you didn't
again
talk
for
to them
9
before you got
months.
out there. You guys were just both
you
out
don't
there.
know
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
know like if they have any kids or if they got a girlfriend or whatever. Like you just talk about like
Purely a fishing
yeah,
relationship.
it's a
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah.
But I love
There's nothing
those.
wrong with that.
I
you
love
know?
those
Yeah.
homies, you
Wrong with
know.
that.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's cool. I know we only like compared to other people, like we don't have a lot of followers, but like you said, like a local following, it's pretty cool. Like you get people like just like taking pictures of you out there. It's like I don't even know you, but like,
but
like, hell
it's
yeah,
awesome.
like it's cool.
You see a little sticker, this, and it's it's awesome. I love it. Even, I mean, not necessarily local, but like I was fishing up north, during the bass run earlier this year, and and like I was just like talking to this guy. He's like, we're just talking in the parking lot. Like, where are you gonna go after this? Like, how was it? This and that. It's like, like let me get your, Instagram, whatever. We'll see if we'll let you know where we're going later. It's like, I already follow you guys. I'm like, sick.
Sick.
He was from Maryland, fishing North Jersey. Yeah,
that is super cool.
I think he was telling me something about because the regulations. You can't even target.
Yeah, they have a no
bass down there, like the Chesapeake, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that. So he came up here just to go.
Stuff.
Dude, it's got to be so brutal. I don't know if it's new or.
Yeah, like,
I've only fished Chesapeake a few times for bass.
Like,
it was always
not that south, but that's where we start off. Like our fishing season is like fishing we grew up down by like when we were younger down by the Delaware River. And like soaking bloodworms and blood bags and just catching like those pre-spawn giants, like that is so sick. But that is so brutal and like
it's not a pretty
kind of lame.
The beach is a lot prettier than the Delaware River.
Yeah, we didn't really do it too much this year. We were too like
not this year. Yeah. A lot more years passed for sure. I don't know why.
I sat on some bloodworms a few times, but it was rough.
I think I've only bought bloodworms like once this year.
I haven't bought bloodworms in years.
Dude, we bag them and we bag them thick.
They're expensive.
Yeah, we bag we'll probably put 4 jumbos in one bag, and we got this, and we tie them real tight. So we got these like just succulent bags out there. It actually,
it's a nasty bait.
Pretty effective for the jumbo stripers. Yeah, not this year, I guess, but
I don't really try this year. A handful of times.
I put some time in.
Okay, sorry.
I've been putting.
I wasn't involved. I don't know where I was.
So let's talk about the weapons behind you. So we got what do we have? 2 or 3 different kinds.
I got my 3. I got my 3 pole spears here. So like I'm.
So let's start off with the first one. So this is kind of like a harpoon style, right?
Yeah. I guess, so you're talking about this one right here?
Yeah.
I guess you call it that. So that is a slip tip, a pole spear with a slip tip on it. So that's for bigger fish. Like that's like for and for tog.
Okay.
Something with tougher skin. All you need is that point to go through the fish, and then it's gonna be attached to that thread. And
I remember you showed me that earlier.
It's probably the best. Like if I was to have like only one tip,
yeah.
I would probably rock the slip tip 24/7. This one is a double flopper. That's what they call it. So like a lot of these spear fishermen and the ones in New Jersey that have these guys that have all their guns, they have like a flopper like right here and then the point. Okay. And they have one. Yeah. This is like a double flopper. And
that's what everything will come
that's
with.
That's like
standard,
what you need. At least in my experience, bro. Like you want to have 2 floppers on there to hold that fish on. So this is like what I started off on. This is just like a 1 piece. Okay. This is like what I upgraded to, and then this is my new piece, the 3-prong from Evolve.
So if you had to use one, what's your favorite one? The 3-prong?
I've been using the 3-prong, and like I just got lacrosse tape on there, bro. Like no grip, just I taped it up. But I've been using 3-prong this year just because it's pretty versatile. But I would probably rock with the slip tip like full time if I had to. Yeah. And this is the one I shot the Jack Carval on.
So each one of these have the, what do they call it, a sling or whatever?
Yeah, so it's just like a big band that's preloaded on the back
Hawaiian
end.
Sling, some people call it.
Okay.
So that's just a pole spear. It's all the same.
Gotcha.
No?
Technically, no.
Not technically?
No, like a Hawaiian Sling is something else, but you don't have to worry about it. But
pardon me. That's what Tucker always called it.
Yeah, I mean, but no. So it's like basically a rubber band, and then you just preload it. And like a lot of the times, what I'll do is I won't load it until I'm on the bottom. Because like I said earlier, like when you're holding the tension of that band, you're burning oxygen just by holding it, which is funky.
That's why guns easier.
But also, like
that's why I stick to the guns.
Yeah, stuff happens quick down there, bro. Yeah. So like you gotta it's like you're dancing with, do I preload it and have a shorter dive, or do I load it up when I'm down there and possibly miss the fish that swims across my face? Like that's like always a battle.
Do you ever like change tips? Like if you shoot that thing into a rock, are they pretty sturdy, or what's the deal with that?
Dude, they don't need to be that sharp. Like they're pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Like you can have a pretty blunt tip, and we like shoot the rocks. Dude,
yeah, I guess you have
all
to,
the
right?
time.
Last year, and this is another reason, because I can take that pole spear and pin a fish to the bottom with it.
Yeah.
My buddy last year was trying to get his big first. Yeah, he was trying to get his big first doormat flounder, and I spotted it, and I was like, bro, it's a big doormat right under me. He swims down. I'm following him like with the camera. It was sweet. Following him down. He sees it, he lines up and shoots it with his gun, and his spear goes through the fish, bounces off a rock, and straight out.
Too powerful.
And the fish just swims away.
Really?
Because, like, a lot of these flounders, they'll be perched up on, like, a jetty rock.
So it just hits the rock and then
bounces back.
Right off.
The floppers never engage. So, like, you really want to... I think this pole spear is the best. Just because you can swim down there, pin it to the bottom, and then rip it out.
It looks like it's just let it go. Just rips out of there.
A pole spear is definitely best for flounder. I don't think a gun is gonna do you any better for a flounder. Yeah.
That is sick. So let's talk about. So we do a thing where we like make teasers and stuff for the podcast and like video lineups. I think you've probably seen them before. Any like crazy cool video stories that you guys have
that are like coming up that are gonna
like you have posted already? Or?
We got like a note, and like we got killer ideas in this note. We just have to take the time to record them. But like people like need to know, like just give us some time. We're gonna make these cool videos. But like stuff we have posted, dude. Like I mean the New Jersey Jack Carval video was like where we got our big star. Also,
tell me, I don't think I've ever heard about that. Tell me about that.
Crazy video.
All right. Also, we got paid by MTV for a video too when we were real small, like 1,000 followers. So we'll have to tell that one too, but no, man, I shot like a 35-inch Jack Carval on a shore dive in New Jersey.
Really?
Like here, yeah, and not far from the beach at all, and like. Dropping down, had no idea I'd encounter one. It was my first ever year spearfishing. I was probably 6 or 7 dives in, but I took a shot at it with this thing.
With that spear.
And I like just perfect bullseyed it right in the back of the gill plate. But like diving down when I first initially saw it. So like I'm on the bottom, I'm looking around, and I feel like really uneasy like that day. Like I felt really uneasy. I didn't know why. And my head was kind of whipping back and forth. And when I turned left, it was just, there was a huge Jack Carval just charging right at me. And when I was under the bottom, I thought it was a GT. Like no joke. Like I thought it was a giant trevally, just because like you're not expecting GT, but you're not expecting Jack Carval. Yeah. So like I see this fish, I'm like that's a GT, and I'm like I got to get this on camera. Like that's sick. So I put it on camera and I'm tilting my head, and then it's like getting closer, and it's like turns broadside, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta shoot at this thing.
Yeah, it's your chance.
And
right?
like, I'm gonna land this GT. It's gonna be sweet. And then like, by the time I was like right here, because like with the pole spear, you load it up, you want to kind of be eye level.
Oh, okay.
By the time I was like lining it up, I'm like, oh, this is a Jack Carval. Like it's clicking, and like decided to take the shot, and just perfect shot right behind the gill plate. Spear went straight through on the pole spear. Like that was a crazy moment for us, just because. A lot of Floridians got pretty pissed online that we took it down, but I mean, like we're not doing anything bad to the Jack Carval population by taking one out that was
and like,
lost.
We'll still eat it. It doesn't matter if it's bad table fare. Like I've never eaten one.
We were gonna eat it and use it. We were gonna eat it and use it for shark bait, but so I actually never told this story.
This is unreleased.
Unreleased. I guess we got some unreleased content here, but no, I actually lost it.
Nah.
Yeah, dude, I lost it.
So.
It was insane, and I learned something that day that I'll never make the mistake again. But like when you land a big fish like that, and this is like a big fish.
How big was it?
It was like 38 inches maybe.
Really?
It was
like
big.
Heavy.
The other thing I didn't say is after I hit it, bro, like it did not die. Like it was still extremely alive, and it spun me in circles. And when you could watch the video back, it's spinning me round, and I'm probably
you're holding on to the spear.
I'm holding on to the spear, so when it's doing circles, and we're probably 20 feet deep, when it's doing these circles, I'm spinning with it. And I'm probably 5 seconds away from letting go of the spear and just like letting it go for my own safety. And then, dude, it turned upwards and just skyrocketed right to the surface. And I'm just holding it, and it took me with it right up to the surface. So long story short, I have it and I don't brain it because the waves are like super gnarly. They're big. So I'm like, I'm going to swim to the jetty, brain it, kill it, and then like get up. When I was on my way over to the jetty, a humongous wave come and just washed me up.
No way.
I went flying. The fish slipped it slipped down the pole spear all the way down, passed through the band and off the spear.
Really?
And then, bro, and it also like totaled the spear. Like we had it in the vice grip for 3 hours. It was bent like a banana.
Yeah.
Which is insane. No fish has ever even bent it a little bit. But anyway, we looked for it for like an hour after that, and then we saw a huge brown shark, and like I don't know if that drew it in or what, but we cut it for we just cut it out.
That's sick.
But that was a sick story.
We
but
lose that fish. We would have eaten it though. Would have tried it.
Yeah, I never told anybody that.
And then go catch a shark. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
You got to.
That's
That's when you would want a gun. But again, that's not something you're encountering every day.
Yeah.
In South Jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so sick.
But that kind of put us on the map a little bit. And then another one that did was like, we actually got picked up by Ridiculousness, Rob Dyrdek's show on MTV.
Wait, for that video?
No.
This was years ago.
This was like when we had
our
like
first or second year.
800 followers or something.
Yeah.
And I was making these videos fishing in the sewer, bro. Like,
it's like the sewers of South Jersey.
Yeah, like there's a few storm drains next to a lake.
Wait, you're not talking like spearfishing?
No, like
just
like rod and reel
fishing.
fishing.
Yeah.
And you can scroll back and find them, but we found these storm drains that whenever it rained a lot, like the overflow from the ponds would wash largemouth bass
If
and
they're
sunnies.
connected to retention ponds,
Yeah.
there's fish in the drains. Yes.
In the storm drain, there would be like fish in the drain. So like whenever it rained a lot, we'd go out there, and I like made a dumb video of me in like a wife beater and like deck boots, just like, hey, I'm gonna catch a fish. And anyway, like MTV reached out, and I'm like, this is like off the main account. I'm like, this is definitely like a scam.
Yeah.
Anyway, they ended up telling us how to send in the video and stuff like that. And they're like, if it ever airs, we'll pay you. And if it doesn't air, like, we just won't pay you. And then like a year later, we got a check in the mail for $300.
No notification, no nothing, just a check in the mail. Like, we didn't know where to find it.
If anyone can find this clip, please
we don't know where
send
it
it
is
to us, because like
we're on
Ridiculousness on an episode, but we've never seen it.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
Just got a random check in the mail.
That's sick.
That night, I remember like.
It's like we made it, right?
That was like, oh, this is our big break.
Yeah, that video got posted on like Barstool Outdoors too or something. Yeah. I remember that. I'm like, bro, this is gonna blow up. Like I bought like the website like on like GoDaddy. I'm like, I gotta have the website just in case.
Yeah.
He's been holding down the JettyJockeys.com website for years.
I've got it just in case.
Yeah.
He's
got it.
Evidently, we didn't go crazy after that video. But
it's so that's so frustrating. Like it's
yeah. It was still awesome though. Obviously, yeah.
So what's like a dream fish to spear?
Big cobia off the jetty. Definitely a
cobia
cubera.
off the jetty.
Cobia off the jetty. Like I want to catch a tarpon on an eel off the jetty, rod and reel, in New Jersey one day, and I want to catch a cobia spear or rod and reel off a shore dive though. Like that is
would
like
be sick.
That would be
never seen one. Don't know if it's possible, but
let's
I
talk
think
about
it's
that. The video was like last year where you guys hooked up on the jetty, and it's just like it just took you for a run. Do you know what that was?
Which one?
Yeah, no, that was my Stratic 5K just screaming out.
Yeah.
So, dude, I think it was an Opa. Like, I think it was ocean sunfish. But like, I talked to some people in the scene, and like, it probably was a huge stingray. Yeah. But like, dude, we've caught
it was moving.
Caught so many cow noses.
And they don't run like that.
They don't run like that fast either.
Yeah.
And the thing about that clip, bro, is that you don't see this, but I fought that fish for 55 minutes, almost an hour. And like, I cut the video after a minute. Yeah. And it was just a battle. And like, and then I ended up breaking me off. Yeah. So we still don't know. But that was like ripping incoming current right around like the swing zone of the jetty. Like that, who knows? That could have been anything.
I was like that one time we were fishing on the beach. I was at work and they were fighting this fish on a really old reel. Remember that?
Oh, God.
And it was like 2 hours later. I'm like, I'm at work, but I came. I just like swapped in.
Nuh-uh.
It was like a 3-4 hour fight. Yeah. After work, we were still fighting this fish.
We hooked up for 5 hours off the beach.
It was
just
unreal. It was a really
in.
old reel too. Not the most drag in the world.
Yeah.
We were down to like the last 50 yards for like an hour. Like I'm like going chest deep in the water, just trying to get something back. Obviously, it didn't work.
We've done that a few times, going down. I think by Holgate area, kayak it out.
Yeah. There's a lot of sharks down there, and a lot of stingrays.
We should do that too.
I mean, that's fun. I've always been thinking about getting, those drones, because kayaking can be a little treacherous sometimes.
Yeah.
Like it's scary. It's not even scary if you're the one doing it. I think you feel fine. I hate
on the
watching. Bro, you see that light go on like in the trough of the bottom of a wave, and like the light's just gone for like, I don't know, 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, he's done. He's gone. Yeah.
That is actually that shit is crazy.
I hate it. Like, if you're the one kayaking out, you feel fine.
Deep,
I know exactly what you're feeling.
It's
I actually
so
dove
sketchy.
in. We were down there, and I sent my brother out.
We send Jake out a lot.
This was bad. We had no lights or nothing. It was like a full moon, which you kind of see. And he was coming back in, and I was like yelling. I was like, "Yo, one's coming from behind!" And like picked him up and like threw him over. And I'm like. So I like ran and dove in.
Dude,
kayak like runs me over, hits me in the head. I'm like, this is stupid.
Paddling baits out.
Well, the one time you were gone for like half an hour. I'm like, at what point do we like
what
call somebody? you fell off the kayak I don't know if you 200 yards out there and was tangled up in the line.
Yeah, the sketchy thing isn't falling off like on the way in. It's falling off on the way out when you got like 2 big shark slabs of meat, like shark baits on you.
On the back.
Yeah, that sucks.
It gets
sketchy. But no, but yeah, that stuff is actually that's super fun. The weird thing about the shark fishing, like we don't do it. We I don't know.
We used to do it a lot.
This was years ago, but like 3 or 4 years ago, we tried to catch the like state record stingray for like how many nights? Probably put in like 20, 30 nights of grinding.
Catch a lot of those things, right?
Trying to catch a humongous butterfly ray, but like we caught some pretty big ones, but that stuff is crazy, bro. Like paddling the baits out in pitch black darkness.
Yeah, it's something.
Dude, they make
on the
I don't know. They make RC cars or RC boats that do it too. They're all like 600, 1,000.
Oh, yo, you gotta tell them about the. Speaking of technology, you gotta tell them about the ball.
Oh, I don't know if I brought them inside.
So
anyway,
we're gonna make a video on this.
Yeah,
we got sent like there's like a. You want to explain it? It's like a ball that's attached to AI.
Yeah, so it literally looks like a bouncy ball, right? And there's an app. Like you pay for like the app, not necessarily the ball.
It's not like a magic 8-ball. Like
no.
It's for measuring fish.
It's for measuring fish. Wait, you just drop it down next to the fish. I've seen like ads for it. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm really curious to see like how accurate that's actually.
We're gonna mess around with it, maybe make a video on it. Yeah, but if it's legit, like we're gonna like call people out and tell them like measure your fish with the ball app. Like we want to like let's see if you're 49 inches really 49 inches.
This could be a game changer for the.
Yeah, if anybody has a ball in there, anybody can measure it, right?
Well, it's specific, like
for your own
it's
ball.
The ball, or like it's like
like we have the ball in the truck. Right
yeah,
now.
it's like
we might have to use it tonight.
The brand or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever the brand is.
So you don't have to take a tape with you. You just
that's
put the ball
what
down.
I mean. Yeah, just saying. They advertise it a lot for like trout fishing and stuff because you like they leave it in the net and you can measure it without taking it out and like messing the fish up. I just want to use it to see if fish are legal. I mean, it'd be great for big bass. Too,
we'll test it out for you guys.
Yeah,
definitely
need to figure that out. Yeah, I have to get one for the boat.
That'd be sick, right?
Yeah, a little ball.
It's literally like this big, dude. It's not that big at all.
Really?
Yeah, and somehow AI, I don't know.
That's so crazy.
So we have to see if it actually works first, but
yeah,
we'll find that out.
So what do we got coming for the Jetty Jockey? Any big up and coming? What do we got?
We need a tuna video. That's gonna happen.
You're gonna be able to watch us
try
to catch a tuna one day. But also we've actually been working on like a little different logo and some stuff like that. Okay. Maybe a hat for about 2 years now, trying to perfect it.
We've been really picky.
And like we don't want to sell out, bro. Like we just do this because we like to do it. You know, people want to rock with us. Like we appreciate it, but like we got some stuff like that in the future. And then, bro, like I said, I got the notes. This note,
it's probably the longest note app known to man.
We share the note,
and we just put ideas.
I like wake up at 3 in the morning. I think of an idea. I write in there. Like I thought this idea the other day. I want to chunk every single town in LBI all day long for 1 hour. Go out there, bunker chunk, clam chunk, right? Yeah. 1 hour. If you don't get a bite or whatever, you move spots and you just literally go down the whole island, see if we catch anything or if moving spots works, like little stuff like that. We got like ideas like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got to know that myself. So I normally like draw all my designs on my shirts and stuff.
Oh, really?
So like I'll be like driving down, like I got an idea and I just like type in the notes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Bro, should I check the note? Because we have like crazy ideas on here if you want to hear.
Yeah, some are probably a little crazy.
Not realistic. And we got like goofs, like 24-hour jetty challenge.
That's a big. We've been talking about that for a while. Camping out on the jetty.
That would be
bringing
fun.
A little tent or something.
Like on the rocks or on the sand.
Like foot on rock for 24 hours straight.
Been talking about that for a while. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh,
but
that's brutal.
That's brutal.
Chunking for 24 hours straight. Just sit on a chunk for like
that sounds like a lot of dogfish. And I am very good at catching dogfish, unfortunately.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have like send t-shirts to Forrest Gump.
We have to do that one. It's like a catch and cook too. If you're out there for 24 hours, right? No food.
That would be fun. Can we do that? That would be
right. That'd be awesome.
I'll do that with you guys.
Yes.
Bro, run it up.
That would be sick.
Yeah, we're down.
You'll be fine.
Oh, dude, actually, shout out to the boys of Stack Tackle. Shout out to Jack. He sent me an idea, and I'm going to try to do it soon, but he wants me to go down there with the ice fishing pole and try to jig up the flukes on camera on the bottom.
Oh, I've seen that before.
That could
Jack
be.
and Steph are coming on the 23rd.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, not next week.
Dude, I just started using
their... Shout out, those guys are good guys.
Oh,
they're crushing
They're doing
right
really well.
Yeah,
they're doing really well right now.
The skirt head there.
But, dude, I've been trying them. They're really sweet.
Yeah, I haven't got my hands on one of them.
Yeah, I got one maybe 2 weeks ago. I was talking to him a little while ago, try to get him to do like a little ocean fluke one where it goes from like 2 to 5 or something.
Yeah,
that'd be big time. I changed so much out there fishing reefs. You know,
they should make.
He said he's
ones.
down. Yeah, make heavy ones.
He said he was gonna work on that. That's nice because we did the fishing shows with you fishing rods. I had my shirts there. We did all the shows, so those boys were with us like every weekend.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
you know, you know a lot of people we know. Like, I mean, it's a small like area around here. You know. Yeah, that's a small island.
I love like our LBI, like our area is just I don't know, it's just I love it.
It's different, you know. I like it a lot for everything too, like fishing. I mean, I just love the group of people around here.
Yeah, because we fish with a guy, super cool guy out of Manasquan. It's just like a different vibe up there.
It's a bit different, you know.
It is.
Maybe a bit.
Sandy Hook.
I don't want to
like
say
total
intense,
different too.
but
dude. We gotta talk about. I mean, we gotta talk about what's going on in Atlantic City. Have you seen like Noel spot burning and one stop tackle stuff?
Is it bad?
It's just like
it's not great.
It's fully blown now. So like we used to go down to Atlantic City a few years ago, and you'd be able to catch like 3 or 4 striped bass over 46 inches like in a night. Pretty like you'd be pretty dialed on it. It would probably happen most nights, and now. It's just blasted to a point where it's just not
people.
gonna.
And like it's a small zone.
You're not gonna get a night alone out there anymore. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, spot burning is. I didn't realize because I'm gonna call myself new to fishing. So I've raced motocross my whole life, and I've always fished like
you're new to fishing.
Yeah,
you would. Yeah.
I don't know. Like I've always fished my whole life. Like I never took it like seriously.
Yeah.
So I took it seriously like last 3 years. I actually like kind of. Not dialed myself in, but like actually like took forward like actually learning and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I'm not there yet. I'm not to like where all these other guys are. Yeah. But it's been like a fun adventure.
Dude, and that's half the fun is learning.
A lot to learn. And
especially those striped bass, bro. Like they literally keep me up at night.
Yeah.
And like physically keep me up at night, but actually like because we had it pretty dialed in like last year, especially last spring. Like we could get the bite window down to like you could call it. Like we would be going out and we'd be like between 10:30 and 12:30. That's when they'll bite, and we'd hit it every time. Or smaller windows than that, like down to 30-minute windows.
It was pretty small windows.
But then like honestly, this spring, like things are ever changing, you know.
Yeah.
So like you think you know everything, and then like you meet someone or you speak to someone that does it differently, and then or something changes, and then like you have to restart. And I feel like that's half the fun of it.
Everybody does it differently.
And you got to kind of find it out for yourself, too. Yeah. You know, you can't just go purely based on what someone said, right? Just go figure it out for yourself. You'll be able to find fish one way or another, I feel like.
That's some good advice, actually. Just like, dude, if you really want it, just like go figure it out.
Might take some time, but you'll figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny. We got dialed into these fall tuna.
Yeah, I saw you were doing
we've been keeping an eye on all these videos. That looks fun, but I'm like, because I like the thump of a big striped bass, but like, I can't even imagine.
I need to catch a tuna. So I've caught tuna.
Is it so crazy?
Never on my boat. I've never caught a tuna. That's gonna be new.
We're gonna do that this year. But like we got dialed in.
You gotta get us out there, bro.
We will. We're doing it this year.
We'll get it going.
So like we got so dialed in. Like there'll be like 2 birds. Like we can call when they're gonna bust. Like 3, 2, 1, and then like it's like almost clockwork.
You're just
like the way the birds like cup their wings and kind of track. It's
patterns,
like it's like all right, like they're following it, and then they like kind of go into attack. It's like they're gonna blow up right there.
You're really relying on the birds for signals for stuff like that, like
almost 100%. Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Yeah, like different birds, different thing. Like tuna chicks versus the other ones.
The only thing I know about is tuna chicks. Yeah. That's the only thing I know about when it comes to tuna.
How about this? Like, how much does the tide matter out there? Because like where we're doing, like it is so tide dependent. Everything we're doing,
like a big portion of it's gonna be.
So
tide
we're
dependent.
always like, I'm not really too sure about tide.
How does the tide even work 60 miles out?
Yeah,
that's
I
you know, like what
think.
do you check? Yeah.
So we're always like, oh, when's the tide gonna change? So like normally when the tide changes,
water
you
starts
think
moving.
Yeah, different flow, different.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% positive. No. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm just like
there's so many factors too. That's the thing. Like
it is.
Some people get so. I mean, a lot of bass, and it works too. But like, if you're just tracking, like, oh, this day, this time, this tide, this moon cycle, like you really get it down to like the, you know,
this wind,
the same conditions for catching fish, and it helps out a lot. I mean, it's not always, you know, it could always deviate from that. Obviously,
the wind, we always feel like if it's dead flat, like I feel like the chances of catching a bluefin are like not there.
They're just not gonna happen.
Like they like to like
see too much.
A stiff like north wind, like they're chewing.
Really?
Like they just chew, and like we've caught most of our big tuna in like really nasty stuff.
Really nasty weather.
Yeah. And they just love it.
They like it for some reason.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
seasick,
weird.
bro.
It's just,
That's why I love fishing in the rain for some reason. I don't know.
I do too.
I don't know why. I don't know if there's a specific reason. Fish are more active. But I love fishing in the rain.
Yeah, well, now we got our frog talk. Shout out frog talks.
They just commented.
Frog
They just
talks love the
commented
Jetty
on
Jockeys. apparently.
our picture.
Yeah.
We weren't even wearing Jetty Jockeys or
No.
Frog Talk waders.
Well,
in that,
like
were
Frog
we?
Talks needs. I think they noticed that we rock their waders like every day.
Yeah.
basically.
Oh, so they commented?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys
They
need to tag
followed
them or
it.
no?
Yeah, no
No,
tags. Just
it was
that's
actually an
sick.
all-time comment too. It was
yeah,
sick.
it's like some sweet comment. I forget what
It
it
was
was.
Nuh-uh.
like more stripes than the Yankees or something like that. It
Are you
was sick.
serious?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's what it
Slim
was.
Jim
We
comment
gotta
on
get
one of
with
my
that.
TikToks.
Slim Jim.
No way.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
It was too funny.
Oh yeah, that was crazy because we got this video of like a thresher shark jumping and shout out to the man, someone who sent it to us, but like jump in and swim with these surfers, and Blacktip H liked our picture and like
That
stuff
one
like
felt
that.
good.
Like we get all fired up on
It
stuff
is
like
cool.
that.
Like
It
you get a
feels
lot of
good,
people
right?
coming in and through like your
Yeah.
like traffic of
Even
our
if they're not
pages.
staying, but like it's nice just to have them pop by,
yeah,
right?
That's the craziest thing about the striped bass. Like we don't have that big of a following, but our reach is like we don't underestimate our reach. Like if you post a striped bass, like and look at because we got all the
amount of
analytics. We look at the
DMs
DMs.
you get.
Post a striped bass with just sand in the background, bro. It has like 260 DMs on a
Everyone
story.
sending to their friends like, "Yo, they're here."
Yeah, like
Like,
where?
what is-
like,
dude,
where are
like, you
these
guys need to
at?
chill
Yeah.
out, bro. Like you don't even know where I'm fishing. I promise you
crazy.
don't.
Yeah.
Like we get a lot of people like will like slide up, be like, hey, like can we buddy boat this year? I'm like, yeah, like
What's buddy vote?
I guess
Yeah.
like follow us.
I guess that's what that
around.
means,
Oh my
right?
God.
It's bad. Like we'll get people follow us around all day.
Oh,
Do they recognize
dude,
the
yeah.
boat?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, like my
That's
mom.
that would happen with
My
Tucker's
mom's like-
boat. It's pretty recognizable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like even the tuna junkies, they talk about
Yeah.
them a lot, but like
Yeah.
they said they'll get people following around all day long.
Just like no matter where they're
and like
going.
guys, like we haven't seen a fish all day. What are you guys doing?
yeah, like where you like go look somewhere else. We
Yeah.
haven't found him yet either. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah.
And it's a misconception. Like we post a lot. Like a lot of these guys post old pictures and stuff. But like there's
Yeah.
weeks. Like we
It's
don't
dry
see
spells.
anything.
Really?
And like a lot of these guys during those dry weeks will post. But like that's what
just to
kind of
keep the
keeps the
post
fire going.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not that you were. That's what we do a lot too. But like you got to keep those posts like in the back pocket for like when
Yeah.
you're not catching fish to kind of. That's really big time with like gaining followers. Just
Yeah, bro.
steady posts. Consistent posting.
I just hate like the whole
Post for no reason, right?
Nah, it's just more like so I met with some people. I got with like a social media analyst guy like to review our page and kind of see what we could do with it, and he's like, you guys got to be posting like so much more, and you guys got to be posting stuff like he said his words were, and I respect this dude. But he's like, not every post needs to be a banger, and I'm like, bro, like I
feels
don't
bad
want to be
not-
posting
yeah.
shit just to have to post it. Like
to
we just want to
remember.
post stuff that we think's
That's good,
cool, you know.
exactly.
I'm
Like,
100% like the same exact
There's-
boat as you.
but that
Yeah.
doesn't work good for the
It doesn't work
algorithm.
good for
that doesn't work
algorithms and
good
all
for
that.
reach.
Yeah.
But like we've been, I don't
we
know,
have plenty of
people
stuff
been
we
enjoying
could
the
have posted that isn't like I don't want to post it. It's just not that good. You know,
I'm
like
the
who wants to
same.
see this? You
I
know?
feel like it's short little clips that like I always like do like throw edits together. And
yeah,
stuff.
the edits are great. Like they're awesome to
But, like,
watch.
they're
They're fun
not,
to
they
make.
don't reach.
They
a
don't
lot.
reach because people are just scrolling. They're not
Yeah.
sitting there for however long the edit
Yeah.
is. Like I love like anyone who likes that type of thing
Will
is
watch
going to
it.
sit there and watch it. But if you want to get like everyone to see it, that's just not the way to do it. And it sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like you put so much work into it. I'm sure you're like, oh, this is going to be a banger.
Yeah.
And then you
And
know,
a lot of like the streak in
tough.
the summer, we were like it went like our videos in the summer went pretty good.
Yeah,
like because
it was
they're
just
like
going
every
well.
other week. It's boom, 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 and like
Yeah.
it just gained a lot
compounds
of
it there,
traction.
yeah.
But like I have
It's
a
important to be
motocross.
consistent for sure.
Yeah, I have like a motocross film page too,
Yeah.
which I don't post a lot on anymore. But I posted like I was like one summer I was like I'm gonna make a stupid little clip and it was like 2 million views.
yeah,
or
it's like your
something.
most popular clip. Like, bro, yeah, you're like,
Bro,
come on.
yeah, I'm just eating a bagel, like 3.8 million views. You gotta be kidding me. Didn't
Yeah.
even show a fish, man.
Yeah.
No fish was even in the video.
Yeah,
So
that's.
let's talk
classic.
about some more stories that you guys have backup videos with, so we can post up on the gram.
Yeah, all right. So, one of the first videos that like people were digging, I got this idea just because when we were driving over here, we were talking about it. But shout out Avery Young, R.I.P. Avery,
Yeah.
the old homie. He was out on the jetty with us, and he's like from like inland, you know, like he's like
not the most experienced
not
fisherman
not
in
the
the world.
most
Yeah.
hardcore fisherman, but he's like wants it so
He's
bad.
down to ride. Yeah, he just might not-
we
yeah,
ended
he's
up getting
down.
him in on a nice bluefish blitz down on the jetty, and he's wearing bare feet, like a kind of like a kook, kind of like a Guggen.
We used to go barefoot out there. Now we know.
Yeah,
Corkers
when we
are
were
the
young-
move, but
I mean, bro, we've
you
done
learn
it
one
all.
way or another.
But no, Avery. Avery flips up a nice bluefish up on the rocks and gets a treble hook. Actually, no, I think it was a J hook of a diamond jig.
Yeah, it was a diamond jig.
Yeah, he gets a diamond jig stuck in his ankle.
Straight through his foot.
Straight through his foot, barb out. And like he looks at it, and we look at it, and we like take the split ring off, take the weight off, and he's like, we're like, you want to go home? He's like, nah, bro, I'm gonna keep fishing.
We like tried to get it out. I tried to snap the barb off. Like there was nothing we could do. Like we tried for like 20 minutes.
So Avery just like fully
just
we'll
keep fishing.
Just fished till like probably an hour into darkness with a big J hook in his leg, just like fully loving it.
Getting off was suspect. High tide, tip of the jetty, barefoot carrying basically a guy off the jetty, but he didn't mind. He was just there to fish. It was great.
That's what it's about. I think that's like this.
There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah.
I have a story like that too. I was fishing with my brother and his little nephew, who was like 2 or 3 at the point, and we're back by High Bay Harbor, and it was like our first drift, and I pulled, it was like a 19-inch fluke up, and I set it on the deck, and I was fishing a high low, so the fish was on the high rig, so the low rig got stuck on my seat. And I had my hand down, and the fish took off on the deck.
I already know what you're going to say.
It pulled out and slingshot it into my finger and into my bone.
Oh,
so like I tried like the bar, like I tried to rip it out, like it couldn't. So I like had to take the shame to the hospital, and I have an X-ray picture of it.
Okay, that's
it's like through my finger, like it's in the bone.
It go in the bone.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was funny. The doctor she wasn't strong enough to cut the hook, so my brother was with me. My brother was like, "Hey, like you want help?" And like he went over and cut it, and then he like actually pulled it out of my finger because she couldn't. She was like yanking, because he couldn't push it through. Because he couldn't push it through because it'd be in the bone.
Yeah.
So my brother, like she was like yanking. She like can't get it. And my brother goes, "You want me to do it?" So my brother like yanked it out for me instead of the.
It's a nice brother to love there.
Yeah.
So what'd you need the doctor for?
Yeah, right. It was crazy.
Some lidocaine?
I think it was a magic tail jig, and I posted on my Instagram. I was like, "Oh, these things are sharp."
Dude, I have a sick story, just a magic tail actually. I was with Tucker one day. We were fluking, and we had, I don't know, we caught a bunch of keepers that day. Whatever, we're getting back, we're flaying everything. One of the fluke like swallowed the entire bucktail, like the whole thing.
Oh, like, that's up on the page.
You can anything. It's on the page. It's pretty cool. So we had to cut it, and then as we're filleting the fish, we cut it out of its like. It's not in its stomach yet, but it's basically it's a really cool video, and we're like, they work.
That's sick.
It was a really cool video.
All right, now wait, bro, I got one for you because you don't understand. You're in the presence of a savage right here.
Oh, geez.
So Jake actually is like one of probably the only people that can say that he limited it out while receiving chemotherapy.
That could be true.
Do you realize that?
I remember you.
There's a video.
You did have that.
Yeah. Anyway, I got my chemo, like it was like 24-hour infusion, so I would get it like in a backpack, and I could like go about my day. I would just have to get it changed every 24 hours.
This man's actively getting treated.
And it was like my last cycle.
Yeah. We took the backpack on the jetty.
We took it on the jetty.
He doesn't.
No
like
way.
wired,
he's not
like,
telling you
down.
like this is savage.
It was sick. Didn't get as much love as I thought as it could have. The video because it was pretty sick. Like actively getting chemo, and I limited it out and got a weak fish. It was awesome.
Yeah,
ball that is shit. Epic.
Like we had him strapped up with the backpack, waterproof jacket over his back.
Tell me this whole story again.
It was so I waited till my last cycle to do it just in case anything went wrong. I'm like, well, I don't like prolong this anymore. So like my last time I need to get it, and it was not real nice. Like the nurses would come to my house and do it. So like I had to like go to the hospital. So they would come to my house, like switch out the bags or whatever, like week-long infusions.
Bro, let's explain this more in depth. Like basically what happened was him and my brother, who also helps us with the videos and is like fully part of the crew, Luke, got sick a few years back, real bad.
I guess 2 years ago. Yeah, both of us had like a different type of lymphoma.
Really?
Yeah, and like similar treatment, same doctor.
Yeah,
really weird with the same birthday too.
Wow.
Kind of sus, but we're all good now. But that was like as soon as we got it, like bro. Like looking on the bright side, we're like, we have to make a video of like how you catching fish.
Like cheer you guys up or something, right?
That time sucked, man. Like these guys lost their hair, and like they were, and like we're a few years into posting on the page, so it's kind of funky because we're like, we don't want these guys to not be posted on the page anymore. People might be like, yo, what's going on? So like we kind of made like a little announcement video, and basically we were like, how do we do this? And we're like, so he's actively getting treated chemo, like however many cycles you had to do from home, and it's in a backpack. So we literally strapped him up, put a waterproof jacket over him, and then sent him out on the jetty at sunrise, and he limited out and got a weak fish.
It was pretty sick. And the picture after is pretty cool. Again, I think it didn't get as much love, but like like to take the backpack off, like holding the backpack in one hand, like with a bag of chemo, and then holding the fish in the other. I thought it was sick.
Not many people can
Not
say
many
they've
people
done
thought it was
that.
sick.
Yeah, that's
That
one
is
for
sick.
sure.
I thought it was really cool though.
We're gonna have to release that again.
We're going to
if you don't mind.
re-release it. Yeah, of course.
That'd be cool. That's an awesome. That's
I think
a
Fish
super
Heads,
cool
Fish
story.
Heads gave it some love.
Fish has been good to us, but
They've been
yeah,
good to
these
us,
guys
yeah.
are savage, bro, and like you know, being like people that haven't gone through, we can't even imagine what they went through. But like, shit, they did better than I did with that. Like they were beasts. Like that was a tough time for us. I couldn't sleep, and it was causing me to go fishing more.
Yeah,
because I couldn't sleep. So middle of the night, I would just go out grinding, and like these guys are the ones going through it. So like, gotta give the props to the boys. Like I can't even imagine.
Yeah, you guys have an awesome group. It seems like. How many Jetty Jockeys are there?
So we got like
back and
all right.
forth.
Shout out Luke, shout out John, shout out Nick, shout out J-Work, shout out Kaz. We got like all the homies that kind of will help us out, and also will like get us some content from time to time, but also just be part of like the crazy shenanigans that we go on, and like
probably like 6, 7 of us.
Yeah,
But it was like just Jake and I at the start. We're like both Jake, like, fuck it, it's just us. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it just kind of branched out. You know, we all fish together all the time, so obviously we all post them on the page and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's a decent solid. Can anybody be a Jetty Jockey? You guys,
anybody can be a Jetty Jockey, but like you got to catch hogs though.
Yeah,
that's part of
Put
it.
the time in. You could be a Jetty Jockey.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
We'll get
I feel like there's a lot of Jetty Jockeys out there, and like honestly, shout out, like there's so many guys, bro, that we, like I said, we don't know, like you don't know them personally, but you fish with them like every night. You don't hit each other up.
You know,
you don't hit each other up to tell each other you're going out there, but like you'll roll up solo and you're with the same crew, and like we really. I really appreciate those guys. You know, they're just like some of the best friends. It's
What's
weird.
like the biggest dive you've had? Like amount of guys in the water, like all you guys hanging out, or
4 guys
probably
maybe.
4 guys.
Okay.
Yeah, it's never that big.
The less spears, like I don't like. I trust these guys, but like the less spears in the water, I think the better.
Well, again, like I was talking about that earlier, that the clarity, like you don't want to be down there right next to somebody you can't see them. And like
also,
you don't know
always
where
buddy
your spear's
dive.
going.
Obviously, like you want to always be with one other person. But dude, like that's what's been funny this year is for the rod and reel fishing. We've been encountering some crowds because everything's so burnt this year. Like there's a lot more fishermen doing the land-based stuff this year. And like honestly, bro, I get it.
Yeah,
like, I want to fish too.
Everyone
like
should be able
it's
to catch
dope.
fish, yeah.
But like the best way we found to combat the crowds is to bring your own crowd and just lock down a zone. Like it's actually
you gotta
insane.
butt in a little bit.
So like you literally like
He's
for
better
example,
with that than I am.
It's burnt. Like I talked about Atlantic City. Like we wanted to
That's a
fish out
tough
there
spot.
one night. We knew it would slay. And there's like those Atlantic City guys. They're like,
you get a little rough on around there.
Yeah,
they don't like people coming to their spot.
but like you roll up with 6 guys and you can space out. The 3 middle guys are fishing comfortably, bro.
Yeah.
Like no one thought about this tactic before.
I like that. We're gonna keep that on the low here. So these guys are spaced out perfectly everywhere they go.
You can't fit in between them, so you're comfortable.
I mean, bro, we've seen nights where like if whether you're fishing a certain rip or something, like your cast, if it's 3 feet off, you're not getting bit. So like you kind of really need to be in certain spots out there on those rocks. Like it's just different. Like the land-based stuff is really tough with the spot thing.
Exactly. There's only there's plenty of water to fish, but there's specific zones that are obviously a bit
and
better
fish
than
do
others.
swim. Like fish swim. So like, people don't realize like you can just go somewhere else.
Yeah,
you know?
but there are some zones might be a little bit better than the others.
Yeah.
So it's kind of. Everyone can't fish the same exact spot at the same time.
Yeah, you can't.
But
it's interesting to see like how the spots have changed over time. Like we've really been doing this for like 10 years
especially
now.
at the south.
Have you seen underwater spots change? Obviously,
yeah,
right?
but like, so it's funky. Like with the hardcore, like there's some real hardcore spear fishermen, much better spear fishermen than me or him out here that have been doing it longer than us, and like they can tell. Like with the spot burning, it just made me think of like they can tell where we're at underwater, which is ridiculous.
There's some spots that you can tell that are like pretty notable,
pretty
like,
prominent.
Yeah, like there'll be like some distinct things you could see where it's pretty easy to tell where someone's at.
I don't know if we've been diving long enough to say like we've seen spots like totally transform though. Definitely fishing.
Again, it's only the last few years. You know.
There was my girlfriend.
Hold on, I'm gonna pee my pants. Can I go do that?
But why don't we talk about fishing some live eels?
That's what we've been doing a lot lately. So
let's talk about live eeling here.
That.
So what have we got with you guys been crushing it with?
I will say that like
good.
we're masters by no means, but like one thing that we do think that we are pretty supreme at is eeling for striped bass. Like that is our bread and butter. A lot of people probably don't even know that.
Yeah, if like you don't know, you don't know, kind of. But if you do know,
there's
you
no.
can do well. Yeah.
I'm telling you, like there's no better bait for a striped bass than a live eel.
And this is at night?
This is at night. Yeah, primarily at night. Sunrise,
yeah.
sunset. it will work, but like there's no lure that will outfish an eel in any circumstance.
Now,
it will never outfish it.
You catch them yourself in a net, like a bait trap, or do you got to buy them?
You got to buy them. I think because they're American eels. I think they catch them.
Yeah,
not really like in Jersey too much.
Like the whole premise behind it, and I don't know if this is true, but allegedly, the eels that are when the striped bass lay their eggs, apparently the little eels eat the eggs, and striped bass inherently think that they remember that these eels are eating their eggs. So when they see an eel, whether that they're feeding or not, they're gonna hit the eel to try to kill it. That's the whole story.
Try to kill it all. Like it is candy.
I don't know if it's true, but like. We've done many tests, and oh my god,
a live eel will outfish like anything they dialed on. At least at night, like during those, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're to be honest with you, bro, we're mostly fishing at night these days, and like that's why
and it's mostly with eels if it's for bass.
Yeah, and like I'll literally go out with 15, 20 lures in my bag, and I'll never take one out.
Just using what works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're catching, and you can catch mondo bass. But the thing is, fishing at night, especially like early season, it's cold. You're on the jetty. It's not fun. Like high tides out there, you're taking waves left and right. So you're wearing waders, which probably a lot of people will tell you not to wear waders on the rocks, similar to a boat. If you fall in, they fill with water. I don't know. We've
been swept in. We've been swept in a ton of times in waders. Never had an issue.
Really?
But I mean, just thinking back,
we've made it.
A few weeks back, we had a kind of a sketchy situation because I mean, on the jetty, like it's treacherous, bro. It's really treacherous.
If you go to the tip, it gets gnarly.
And when you're landing fish is when it becomes a problem because these big striped bass, like you're not just flipping a ball on the rocks. You're basically
you got to climb down there.
All right, let me back up. So basically, what we're doing with these eels is we're fishing 80 or 100 pound leader only. And
really?
Yeah. And honestly, when I'm striped bass fishing on the jetty, I'm using 60, 80, or 100 pound leader every single time, no matter what. And the people that think that the line thickness matters, does not matter.
At least for this scenario, it
does not
seem
matter.
to do anything. Yeah.
I mean, I just caught a slot striper on a huge clip and 100 pound leader in the broad daylight, like 2 days ago. Yeah. But with that being said, we use that heavy line because not so much for like the tension on the line, but for landing the fish.
Just with those rocks.
Because you come up the rocks.
Yeah.
You want to
use a lot of leader too.
Yeah,
like longer leader than you might think.
Yeah, you want that long leader, but also you basically want to be able to wrap your hand around it and be able to swing up like a big fish up onto the rock, so you can get in the lip gripper or whatever else. But we just had a little situation a few weeks back where a homie got swept in deep.
No. And it's on video. The video is pretty crazy.
We haven't posted the video. It does exist, but basically, like getting down there in big swell. Like people don't realize, or I guess it's hard to tell, but there's pretty big craters in between some of these jetty rocks, depending on where you're fishing. Mm-hmm. And if you get swept in that backwash, like over the rocks, you can land in kind of a pit.
Like you don't know, like especially at nighttime, like you're down there trying to land your fish. You're worried about this massive fish. And someone will be like, "Oh, big wave, big wave." You're already down there. You have 2 seconds. You're like,
you're looking down. You look up, and you're just getting blasted.
Looking like at the wall of a wave and just overhead.
So this guy have waders on or what?
I don't. It was. We won't say his name, but one of the homies is landing a big bass. Yeah, no waders, but I mean, his night's over. Like he's soaked. He's soaked from his head to his toes, and
he was swimming for a solid second. Like so water's up to here. He's up in the water.
Yeah.
So the water's still cold.
Oh, the water's cold.
Yeah.
The air is cold.
But bro,
it's not fun.
Some of those nights, like the biggest swells, will get the biggest bass.
Yeah.
So we want to go.
Yeah, like you need to just kind of go out there and hope for the best. I mean, you're fine. It's just landing the fish can get definitely a little sketchy. It's definitely a quick maneuver. Find your like gapping with the waves. I go down there, snag
some skill to it for sure.
Yeah, I've never landed and even like big fish off the jetty. If it was like little blues where you could just rip them up or like.
No, you got to go put your hand. You got to go grab the fish yourself, and it can be tough, especially. Even releasing them is really tough too, because you're not just gonna go toss that big bass in. You're gonna revive it a little bit, and you got to be down there for that. They're heavy.
We take pride in the releases for sure, and like the best way to do it, at least that I've found, is you want to grab it around that big broom tail and just hold the head in the water, and like you're taking some waves to the chest, but as long as you have a good dry suit, you're not having too many issues.
Yeah, and they swim off happy.
It can, dude. I mean, he's a bit more ambitious than I am. Some nights I'm like, dude, I'm not going to the tip right now. You're just seeing like water crashing, halfway up. You're like, I'm not going out there. But
Yeah.
There's always someone out there most of the time. Like
bro.
there's always people
last
out there.
year somebody got stuck out there and they had a
They climbed.
guard and
Oh,
everything.
there's kids. Yeah.
Dude, that video was wicked. Like these
was
guys
crazy,
are trapped with the helicopter rescue. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they climbed the pole or the.
Yeah,
We
they
never
like-
got in that deep. Like, and I think I bet
We're
you
always
they didn't have
prepared.
corkers.
Yeah,
probably
everyone goes
not.
out there without corkers. Like, I remember one time last year, I'm just like fluke fishing, not that deep. Like, like the last like third is where it gets slippery.
Yeah,
It's just
I
like
know
it's covered
exactly
by
where it
water.
gets
Yeah,
slippery.
and like I'm fishing probably right on that edge, and I see like a young family. Like there's like
Yeah.
4 kids like running down there, and like their parents are like way behind them. Like, I'm not trying to be like
July
a dick,
and
but I'm like, yo,
August?
there's a good chance they're gonna fall. Like they're
Yeah.
running on the rocks here. It is slippery, and like if they fall, like it's not the easiest thing to go help them either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I've seen an old man get swept in, had to help him out.
Really?
Yeah, I was actually shout out Jetty Jeff. I was fishing with Jetty Jeff last night. This guy is like the actual goat
He's
of the
OG
jetty.
jetty
He's an
guy.
OG. He's retired and gets to fish the jetty every single day, Monday through Friday. Doesn't mess around on the weekends.
Really?
Every single
We'll be out
sunrise,
there.
he wakes up at 3. He fishes till 7 a.m. and bounces, and he catches
No way.
absolute
catches a lot of
hogs.
fish.
But
Really?
last night we're out there, bro, and he had a gator blue on a SP minnow, and he's unhooking it, and he said that the blue flipped up, and the hook of the SP minnow grazed his face and went and cut his cheek.
Really?
And this is like
And
an old man.
this is
right?
old-
like in
this
his
is-
70s, right?
Yeah.
So like he's not bouncing back super. Like he's probably I don't know.
One of the
He
best
bleeds a
fish,
lot. I don't
one
know.
of the
He's
best
old.
fishermen I've ever seen. But like it gets treacherous out there,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah,
out
it's-
Jetty Jeff though.
It's gnarly. I was we were coming in a couple weeks ago through Manasquan. I don't know, it's not funny. I don't know how the guy made it out. But we're blasting through the inlet
Yeah.
like 70 mile an hour. And I'm like sitting in the back. I look and there's a dude like jumping on the rock, and then all I see is just whoop, disappeared.
Whoa.
No one
Like
knows.
total,
Oh, yeah.
like I was like, and
Bro, we seen it all.
like,
You're not doing.
like,
You're not
just
doing anything.
Gone.
man. Yeah.
And
but-
I was like, what just happened? And like I was looking, didn't come back up, and I'm like, oh, well, I hope
Well,
he's all right.
yeah. There's not much you could do. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do in this situation? That's
It's
tough.
just crazy.
Yeah, that's why corkers are a must out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
If you-
I've been out there and just like extra tough. And,
Yeah, well, I've done that plenty too. You know, like
yeah.
if you're going anywhere past that last section, you need something. Even just falling on the rocks, like no waves included. That's not fun either.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I literally fell in my corkers like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Pretty
Yeah, like you're getting torn up. That's why I stopped. I have like these big what are they called? Like the waterproof containers, but I put all my gulp in it, like the big ones.
Okay, yeah,
I've
yeah.
shattered 2 out there, falling on the rocks. All my juice gone. Like it's happened multiple
Shattered.
times. Like,
Totally shattered.
Gotta stop
Oh.
taking this out there.
Oh, yo, bro, about grabbing those big striped bass, though, like, this is a funny story. Our homie John, he has to get fingerprinted for work, right? And his hands were so bassed up
He had a rough
from grabbing
night,
fish. Slid one night, but hands were so bassed up all spring that he went in to get fingerprinted and they couldn't get his thumbprint
Nuh-uh.
because it was so messed up. So, like,
This is-
they literally advised him to wear rubber gloves while fishing now.
Nuh-uh. Are you
Yeah,
We
serious?
they're
went
like-
fishing 2 days ago and he was wearing rubber gloves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
He had a rough fall
Yeah,
on the
scale
jetty, I
back.
think, and cut up his
Yeah.
hands pretty good. But
That's sketchy. So let's talk about the
Sketchy.
goggles. Like the whole, like, is it like spitting on the lead? Is that a true thing for fog? What's like?
All right, let me break this down for you. So, there's a
Break
few.
down like a
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off. Break down an ideal dive. So we're getting
Alright.
suit up, dive in, fish out, gone.
I'll take it here.
Let me explain this in depth. There's something that we do every time before we dive, no matter what. And first thing you do is you take your mask into your kitchen, whatever, and you wash it with like dish soap.
Okay.
Because basically, the more dirt particles that are on the lens, the more likely it is to fog up. So you want to have a clean mask. And then when you get out there, you're spitting in your mask, rubbing it around, and then putting water in it. Some guys like will use like some baby soap or like dish
Okay.
detergent and do the same thing. But I guess what it does is it makes some sort of layer. It actually is true. Like your mask won't fog up if you spit in it, right?
Okay.
You do when you get a new mask though. You do have to. There's like a coating on the inside.
Yeah.
Of it. You do have to.
Wear it
People
off.
either burn it off or they like a light abrasive to get it off because it will fog up really bad. I've tried like playing like the anti-fogging
Yeah.
sprays and stuff. I'm not sure that it all works super well.
Yeah, like he said, but brand new mask. You're gonna want to get like a toothbrush and some toothpaste, and you're gonna scrub it like 3 times. Wash it
Really?
off.
Have you done it with a
and scrub
lighter?
again. I burned.
I've seen that.
I burn
I've
all
never tried it
mine. I don't
myself.
know. Some people say you don't need to burn it. I think it doesn't hurt as long as you're not burning
Fogging
it too
is the
much.
worst, though.
But yeah, burn it. Toothbrush.
Already low vis, and you're adding
you're
fog.
fogged
Yeah,
up.
you can't see shit. Yeah.
But no, I mean, ideal dive, like you want to make sure that you're prepared. Like it's so much prep and it's so much after work because when you get home, like you want to wash your wetsuit inside and out. You need to wash off all your gloves, your booties, your like hood, whatever you got, like. Because that salt water will just destroy your
same
stuff.
thing as like taking the boat out. There's a lot of work that happens once you get back to the dock.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not just hop off and go about your day.
Yeah.
As nice as it would be.
Yeah, right. There's a lot more work than it behind the scenes than it actually is.
Especially prep.
So you guys suit up at the truck before you guys go, or what's the deal?
It depends. Sometimes on the beach.
Yeah, honestly,
Or
like
halfway up. It depends. You have the 2-piece suit, so it's a little different.
Yeah, like for me personally, what I'm doing is as long as it's not too hot, I'm putting my like wetsuit bottom and top on and then walking out with a bag. Like a lot of guys, some guys will bring everything so that they can like strap some stuff onto that float and just go straight in. I'm bringing a bag. Like I want to bring a bag. I've ditch it in the dunes.
I'll just leave it. Yeah.
Ditch the bag in the dunes and then get the rest of your suited up. But I mean, it's like a lot of gear. Like it's no joke. Like you have to have a lot of gear to really do it right.
Weight belts are heavy too.
Yeah, I'm
you
rocking
need a lot more. Like one thing I noticed. Before I started, you need a lot more weight than you think.
Yeah.
At least maybe just me.
Yeah,
the weight belt's necessary, like a must.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
The way like the water depth works is the deeper the water, the less buoyant you are. So in shallow water, you're super buoyant, especially in that
especially
wetsuit.
in a wetsuit. Yeah.
So you need a weight belt, and then it's cool though because like you'll be swimming down, and once you get to, I mean, like around here, and with the weight I have, it's like 15, 20 feet. Yeah. You'll actually become negatively buoyant, and you'll start to sink.
Oh, that's
you just
cool.
got to get down a little bit.
But on the way up, like say you need to go up and get air, and you're done, that dive. Like when you start swimming up, you start skyrocketing up because that buoyancy picks up as you come up.
That's probably a pretty cool feeling.
But like if you don't have enough weight, you're wasting so much energy to get down there and stay down there.
Yeah.
Like at least my first few dives, I didn't have enough weight, and you can't really do much because you're wasting all this time kicking and like swimming basically to stay down on the bottom, and that's like it turns like a 1 minute dive into a 30-second dive if you're like trying to stay down the whole time.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to be overweighted because if you're overweighted, then you're
scary.
sinking and
That's
you're literally drowning yourself, bro.
Yeah, I guess you got to figure out what works for yourself.
Yeah, right? Especially with whatever suit you have, that'll change how buoyant you are and stuff like that, and how deep. It's all like, at least for me,
it's all variable,
similar depth wise. I don't go. Jake goes some deeper spots than I do, but I usually keep it under 15 foot. Like that's like right when you start equalizing too. Jake's had some issues with that in the past, right?
Yeah, I had like a little eardrum burst one time.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah,
that's gotta be tough, right?
Yeah, I mean, so I actually had like a surfing accident because my board hit me in, like the tip of my board hit me in the eardrum and burst my eardrum out there.
Oh no way!
Like pretty deep, and paddling in, like I was all thrown off. My equilibrium, I guess, was messed up. So I got to the beach and literally fell over, like so disoriented. Happy I didn't drown.
Oh no way!
But then, I think I started diving like maybe the next summer, and I had like a little bit of like sinus issues at first. Now I'm healed up. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
that is sick.
But dude, it's dangerous, bro. Like it's no joke. You guys got to be like super serious and super careful, especially like with watching out for your friends too. Like always dive with a buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to get out there with you guys. I want to do at least like a nice chill. If we get like a nice chill
day, we'll get out there.
I'll throw on the wetsuit. Where do I buy a pole at?
Yeah, I'll give you one.
You
of
got
mine.
an extra pole. I'll
give you one of mine.
I've used his poles because I just have a gun too.
Do you want to pick up a pole spear? Like that's another thing. Like you don't gotta be dropping crazy money on these things. Like this is like literally $60, but the tips are like probably $60.
Yeah, the tips are kind of if you're gonna pay
something
for
that will actually hold a fish, because you don't want to go through all that trouble of finding a fish and
just
shooting it just to lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest fluke you guys shot?
Out of the crew. Out of the crew, we caught like a 9.5 pounder, or shot a 9.5 pounder. That's like 29 inches.
Really?
But like I've been waiting on that 10 pounder. That
you
dormant.
got a 26, right?
Yeah, I've got my PB on the spear is 26 inches, but I've got 6 25 inches.
Really?
So like I'm just waiting. You know?
For that unit.
I'm not gonna say it's easy by any means, but it's easier to find the bigger fish sometimes because you're looking at them compared to you can't be so selective when you're fishing rod and reel. I think I'm not saying it's easy by any means. It's not, but it's a bit easier to find the bigger ones. I think because you're down there, you kind of got not your pick of the litter, but you can look at which fish, see which one am I going to shoot. If you had a rod and reel, you're just kind of seeing what hits.
Yeah,
I'm not saying there's not
sure.
better ways to get bigger fish, but a bit easier when you're down there looking at them yourself. Yeah.
So when you're using the sling, are you full power every shot you do, or?
It depends. Like, so that sling or that bungee on the pole spear, you kind of got to give it a little bit of distance for it to reach max speed. So like if you shoot something point blank, like you're not gonna like that spear is loading as it's releasing. So basically, it all depends. But like I would rather have every shot full power. But like it all depends on the situation, and like most of the time you're not gonna have much time to like line up on that fish. Like that fish is gonna come in and leave pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard.
I'm like itching. I want to go. I always said I want to go, but like I never like actually just went.
Bro,
I mean, it's a bit of work, prep work, but it's
you got a wetsuit?
Yeah, he's got a wetsuit.
Two or three of them.
All right, you got a wetsuit. We'll get you rocking. You rock my.
Should have
fins.
extra fins too.
Yeah, I
not the
actually
most
found,
ideal. I got smaller
I was driving
fins.
behind work the other day, and I saw something in the dumpster. It was like a brand new fin set.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Did you
I
take
don't know
them?
if they're in my truck right now.
Are they like decent size?
They're like yay.
Oh,
Dude, if they fit your feet, run it.
They do. They do.
All right, run
Like
it.
that was
That's
my mistake.
fire.
My first fins
I
are
have
too
a problem.
small.
I've been
You know.
fins like my feet cramp, like the arches of my feet.
I know what you mean.
and like
Probably
I'm
too tight.
I feel like I'm gonna drown.
Probably-
Like
It
if that
gets
happens
scary.
while I'm down there, like I'm like
You're gonna start freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well,
like
that's
it's
why-
like a serious Charlie horse in like the arch of my feet.
and you just can't move it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we just gotta go
Hydrate.
for it. That's how it's
Get a
hydrate.
banana.
Yeah.
That happens to be when I ski too. Yeah.
yeah, yo, that's
Same with racing too.
Yeah,
It's
like I
brutal.
cramp up a lot.
That's
too.
another thing with the spearfishing, bro. Is like we'll literally crush a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup,
Just dive in.
and go diving, and you'll get out, and you'll want to eat 5 more bagels.
Oh, I bet.
Like
It's
you
such a
get
good
so
workout.
yeah, it's such
Yeah,
a good workout.
it-
That's like part of the fun of
Such
it.
a
Like
big workout.
you literally can get in such good shape just by swimming or diving.
Especially
It's
because you're
amazing.
treading basically the entire time.
Yeah.
Like there's no just like I mean sometimes you can hold on to a rock or something.
Yeah.
There's no just like taking a break too much.
We're not
Yeah.
going out there for half an hour too. We're going like 3-hour dives. And like we're swimming out from land and like staying out there treading water for like 2-3
Like
hours.
anywhere you go, you do have to get back.
Yeah,
what I
exactly.
think about a lot. Like I'm already pretty gassed. How much far? It's sometimes the jetty you can hop out on different parts of the rocks.
Yeah.
But like if you're just depending where you are, if you're not close to the jetty, you're just going straight back to the beach. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That could be a long trek.
Yeah, let's plan that. Let's we'll organize some videos and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Let's
Big
do
things
some of these
coming.
challenges. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, I want to do like a little like Jake versus Jake challenge. Like strap us both up with the GoPro so we can catch more fish. Think you got me? I
That
don't
would
know.
be fun.
Is it like?
Am I allowed to use a spear?
Oh yeah. Is it
No,
a
but we got
biggest
to do something
fish?
for
Is
sure.
it a
That would
bag?
be
What is
fun.
it?
Oh, well, let's make the regs.
Let's do that. We'll
You on the jetty, me on the boat.
Yeah,
we're gonna do some mahi this year too.
Definitely
we're gonna
get some mahi.
Spearfish a mahi.
fuck.
We're gonna
That
do it.
might be top on the list. I think.
I think it's pretty easy.
That's
I think.
bucket list shit for me, man.
We're doing it.
Yeah,
We'll
but
do it,
we can get that. We
100%.
can get that done. I think.
Maybe swim with some big sharks offshore.
All right, I'll stay on the boat for that.
Slow down. I'm on the boat too here.
I'm down.
Let's do it. Well, thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks
for
for
the
having
drive.
us.
It's fun, bro.
I
It's
think
good
we're gonna
time.
make some cool stuff this year.
I think we got
I think
a
we
lot
can-
happening. Yeah.
we can get a lot of big opportunities here. I think.
So too. I think we
it'd be
do a lot.
fun.
I think we do a lot.
Thanks for having us, man.
No,
Yeah.
no worries.
It's
Thanks
been
for
great.
coming on.
Yeah. It's been
Episode
talk.
3 in the books.
Let's go.
There we go.
Lucky
Let's
creep,
go. Okay. Is that all right, bro?
So, no.